Hello, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? Hope all is well. I am fine. Now, yesterday my video got blocked because of the World War II video that I used to show all the what Hitler did, stealing all the gold, which we already talked about, but I just wanted to say, hey, this is look what he did and confirm it. And anyway, it got blocked, so I can't re-show it, but I will show you the video. I highly recommend seeing it if you're interested in that kind of stuff. And we'll go and try to recap as much about yesterday as we can. So it's called The Secret World of Gold. This show's about Hitler. This show's about derivative market. And Mark McGuire is the little boy when he's whistleblowing. Well, look at this Rolex. It gives Rolex prices. And then I tried to find this, but I'm a little bit afraid of getting blocked. So this one I shouldn't have a problem with. And this is the one that blocks. So go find this one. I gave a bad comment to this Trading Coach UK for blocking somebody who would show their video. They should want their video showed. And we tie a little Mark McGuire. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Gold's off today until about 8 o'clock tonight. Then the Chinese start. It's at 24.15 or something like that. So we're waiting to see how big of a derivative they can put, which they want the price to go down, and we will see. But they all seem to think if gold goes up, the dollar's in trouble, and I don't see the correlation at all. The dollar's the dollar. It's like getting a chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream. That doesn't really matter. One has nothing to do with the other. And it's just bad economic thought by the Keynesians thinking, well, we look at gold, it only goes up if there's hyperinflation or a war or something. No, it's an asset like a Rolex. So do Rolexes only go up? And I'll show you a Rolex one. I actually did one of the videos was Rolex prices for 2024. So if they go up, does the dollar drop? Why not? Oh, gold's money. Well, so what? Rolex is theoretically money also. It's an asset that you could trade for, to get money, to get food, just like you're going to do with gold and silver. I saw one idiot say that, it's not worth buying gold because you either have to either put it in a bank, safety deposit box, no, a private security box, or keep it at home and pay for all the insurance and storing costs. And I'm like, I don't insure my gold. What a bunch of idiots. I pay nothing for my gold. I got my gold. It's in a safe place. That's the bottom line, right? So I don't have these extra fees, and I'm not really worried. What if you got jewels and money at home? How is that any different? So you got 20 grand at home. You don't want to leave it at the bank. Are you worried somebody's going to steal it? I don't know. I mean, I guess you always are if you have something that's valuable. If I have a Picasso in my house, would I worry somebody's going to steal it? Hell yes. But the gold, he was mentioning about taking it on an airplane or somewhere else. And I've never had a problem. I'll go meet Jenna with a little bit of gold and silver. I've never had a problem. I'm not going to take 50 ounces of gold with me unless I plan on, selling it. And, but I'm not at that point right now. And then he said, "Oh," and then I knew he was like a scammer. He goes, "Well, I would just have Bitcoin. I would just use Bitcoin. I wouldn't use gold." So now we know really what he is. He's a Bitcoin scammer trying to downplay gold. Okay, that's what you are. Okay, so you're a loser, basically. What they don't tell you is, but if I hold on to the dollar, it's going to zero. It's 99% gone, and to me, it's 100% gone. It's not coming back, and it's gone. It's worthless. So why do I want to hold the dollar? That's the part they don't tell you. You hold gold because the dollar and everything in the dollar is the Titanic is going to go to the bottom of the ocean. The only survivors are going to be people with gold and silver. There's nothing else you can do. You can own a Rolex and a mantle card, which will help you, but the money is gold and silver, so you want some of that. You want mostly that. I didn't get the mantle card as an inflation hedge, but I'm glad I got it, and I'm not worried about it'll go to zero in dollars, but it won't. It'll get repriced in gold. And the funny part is, I was listening to another girl, and they don't understand that. They said, well, your assets priced in dollars will go out, stocks and bonds. But she fails to mention houses and cars. They're going to go to zero. Anything valued in dollars, if there's no dollar, how do you value anything? So you can't. That's the reason we're getting gold and silver is the dollar's gone and we can't value anything in dollars. All right. So a lot of people that just don't get it, they don't get the full concept the way we get it, right? They don't get everything goes to zero because the medium of exchange is dollars. Because they don't understand medium of exchange. They might, like E. Sheckman or Rick Rude or one of those guys might say it. They might say medium. They don't know what it is. They might say Say's law, but they don't know what it is. Right? They can't explain it, but they've heard the term laissez-faire, leave it alone, get the government out of it, invisible hand, but they don't know what it is. They just heard the term. So they're trying to sound smart by saying, well, this is, it's laissez-faire. What is laissez-faire? I don't know. I just heard the term. But and I hate when these guys come out and say, well, you have 3 days left. You have a week left. They don't fucking know. As soon as I see that comment, I don't even pay attention. It's a real it's a real bad situation financially we're in when you screw up the dollars. I don't know. They'll try to get people CBDCs, but I don't think the banks want it. Anyway, let's get into baseball. So I had Detroit over 9, and it was over in the 5th inning. It was 8-4 the Dodgers, and I go work out, and it's 9-4 the Dodgers, and going into the 9th inning. And I checked the final, and the Tigers won 11-9. They scored 5 runs in the 9th inning. The Dodgers, with their incredible, stupid manager, I'm looking at what pitcher gave up these runs. Oh, the guy with the 12.0 ERA gives up like 3 runs or 4 runs. Are you kidding me? It ain't over at 9-4. It should be over. You should have decent people in the bullpen. This gets back to having too many pitchers that aren't major leaguers. I mean, there's maybe 30, 40 major league pitchers, and the rest are amateurs. They're, minor leaguers. So here the Dodgers, And this is why they're not winning as much as they had great hitting, but their bullpen sucks. Their starter wasn't any good, and they go to the bullpen. You got a 5-run lead. You're bringing a guy with a 12 ERA. What is the guy with the 12 ERA even on your team for? Oh, I'm trying to rest the arms because these guys can't pitch more than 10 or 15 pitches, and then they're done for 3 days. I'm watching Bob Gibson, and I'm going to repeat this because I said this yesterday, but that video's blocked. He goes 163 pitches in Game 7 of the 1990s or 1966 World Series. I think it was against Minnesota or the Yankees or somebody. It was like he goes 163 pitches in the clinch to win Game 7. Nowadays, oh no, sorry, Bob, you got to come out with 100 pitches. I wouldn't want to be the manager to do that to Bob Gibson or Koufax or Jack Morris or any of those. Anyway, so let's go through the game. So we start off really good. We win that. Then I got Philly over 9.5, and I win that. So Detroit wins 11-9. I have Pittsburgh, but I didn't bet it. They win 6-2, another winner. I have the Cubs. They lose 11-3, but I didn't bet it. We have Baltimore under 8.5, and Baltimore wins. The Yankees win 6-1, but we had two good, Luis Gill and Grayson Rodriguez, both in the threes, and they had played an under game the day before using analytical brains. I determined, well, the Yankees just aren't hitting. They did hit 6-1. Gill pitches a good game with his 3.17 ERA, and we get the under. Next is Philly over 9.5. Philly wins 11-5. Bryce Harper. See, they were pissed, Real D. They lose 6-2 to Oakland. They get pissed off. Bryce Harper probably has a big day. It didn't go into the box score. Then we've got KC under 9, and that's a winner. Boston wins 5-0. We had Cutter Crawford. As I thought, he's starting to pitch better. And Seth Lugo, 11-4 with a 2.42. You would expect an under. You got it. Under 9, 5-0. Boston, another winner. Milwaukee over 9. Washington wins 6-5. Another winner. We got Cincinnati. Cincinnati wins 10-6. Edward Cabrera, 1-3 with the 8.26 ERA. Is how we chose Cincinnati. It's a winner. Houston over 8.5. And low scoring game there. 2-1 Texas. So we lose that one. We're on a pretty hot streak there. We're nailing them all. The Mets over 8.5. That's a winner. The Mets win 7-3. We got Atlanta. Let's see. Cleveland beats Tampa 4-2. I didn't play it. We got Atlanta. San Diego wins 4-0. Dylan Cease against Lopez. So Lopez is 7-3 with a 1.88. Dylan Cease, that was a shutout. That's what you worry about. The guys who are decent and then have some bad times. So we'll keep our eye on Ranger Suarez. He's good. He's pitched like a pig the last 4 games. Now we'll see if he gets better. But Dylan Cease, now again, I should have went under, obviously. But, I never thought that Lopez, 7-3 with a 1.88 would lose. I thought he'd win. I didn't know if it was high or low scoring. The 49ers over 9.5. That's a loser as they play 4-2. Cole Sands, surprising. Arizona over 9. Let's see. The Cardinals win game 2 of the doubleheader 5-4. California beats Seattle 2-1. There's the under, and there's Arizona over 9's a W. They win 12-1 against Toronto. They roughed up Jose Berrios 8-7 with the 401. They put up a 12. So we go 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. 5-0, 5-1, 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 7-3. God, we are really on fire. This whole week, I don't know, I think it was 6-2 yesterday. The other game I was 3-1. So by watching every day, we're picking up on little trends like the Tigers are starting to score. We have them over, which I never would have done before because they can't hit. They had 5 hitters hitting under 210. They've switched some hitters, and they're getting hot. Every team gets hot. Every team gets cold. Look at the Yankees. They're cold now. They're not scoring like they should. We're not. We bet them under, and it's okay. And it won. And it was against a good Baltimore pitcher. And they win 6-1. Every team gets hot and cold. Every team scores a lot and doesn't score. So we're letting streaks enter into this, and it's really helping. The only game that was surprising is Houston and Texas because it wasn't Verlander against Scherzer. It was 2 nobodies. That was the only game I was really surprised at. Atlanta, okay, I should have probably went under with Dylan Cease. It happened with the other guy last time against Chris Sale. There was a good pitcher who hadn't been pitching well, and he shuts him out, and you're like, fuck, that was a good under. So you're getting a little bit, do I take the good pitcher against the decent pitcher, or do I go under? Those will balance out. All right, 7-14. Can you believe it's 7-14 already? We're going to have July 4th, and it's gone, come and gone. And now we're in the 14th. All right, so that was yesterday. So what do we take? The Cubs lost. Houston was low scoring. Atlanta lost to San Diego. And the Niners played a low scoring game. Okay, Arizona did score a lot. So let's go to 7-14. And you got 10 minutes, the Yankees at Baltimore. Why are they playing at 11:35? You think people got nothing better to do than go to the park at 11:30 in the morning on a Sunday? It's not football. Football, yes, people will go to the nude games, college football. Yankees in Baltimore, I'm not going. Let's see. So we've got Yankees are minus 120 and 9. The first 2 games have been low scoring. Carlos Rodon, 9-7 with the 4.63 against Dean Kramer, 4-5 with the 4.42. Forget the low scoring here with these pitchers. So we're going to, well, I won't play it because it's so close, but we'll just say Yankees over 9, but I won't bet it because it's 5 minutes away. 11:35. What are they kidding me? All right, now at 1:35. So now we'll get into this. KC in Boston yesterday. It was low scoring. Boston's a 145, 9.5. We got Brady Singer 5-5, but a 2.93 against Brian Bello, 9-5 with the 5.40. So we're going to take KC here. KC and we had KC under yesterday. We'll just take KC here. Hey, Greg and John. Brian Bellows 9-5, but he's 5.4. But with Singer 5-5 with a 2.93. See, everything's mixed. I can't really go over with Singer. He could throw a shutout. And really the only logical thing is to take KC as a nice dog there. What happened to Trump? What do you mean what happened to Trump? He got shot. Yankees, I know Yankees are starting soon. So it's the only way I can really play it is to take Kansas City. Singer pitches a good game, and then they'll hit Brian Bellows. Oakland and Philly. So Philly gets revenge for losing 6-2 Friday. We have them over. They go way over yesterday. And let's see. Philly is a 250 favorite, 10 over under. Joey Estes, 3-4 with the 5.53 against Orion Kettering. Who the hell is this guy? 2-1 with the 1.30. He's a bullpen guy. Where in God's name did they come up with the bullpen guy? So a guy pitches 1 inning. Well, what's he going to pitch today? See, but it's misleading because you go, oh, he's got a 1.38. I'm going to bet Philly. Well, no, you're not. Why is Philly a 250 favorite? Now, Estes 3 and 4 to 5.53. So we got to go to the bullpen. Oakland with the 3.65, Philly with the 3.41. This is as of last Sunday. I'll update it today or tomorrow because it's all the games today. Oakland hits 224, Philly 259. So do we get Oakland doesn't hit? How do you bet on Orion Kettering? Yeah, you can't. So they're going to go to their bullpen. So let's look at it as a bullpen. So the ERA here instead of Kettering is 3.41 against the 5.53. So it's how good is Joey Estes? 3 and 4 at the 5.53. Philly should hit it. Let's go Philly here, and we'll go 3 units. It's hard to go over with Oakland because they don't score. Philly will probably do it all by themselves. Then might as well just bet Philly. These bullpen days, I don't understand. They don't. Okay, if you don't have 5 pitchers, then maybe go to a 4-man rotation and go every 4 days instead of every 5. How about that? It only worked for the first 80 years of baseball. I mean, I'm watching these old World Series, and here's Bob Gibson. Well, he's on 2 days rest, and he throws 163 pitches, and St. Louis wins the World Series. Oh, yeah, but we got to give him 5 days rest. He can only go 100 pitches now. Where are you getting that? Well, analytics. Well, we analyze then after 100 pitches, they don't go well. And they don't go through the lineup the third time. That's not good. I'm like, what the? This is the problem with numbers. With they're just all bullshit, right? There's no. I pitched over 100 pitches. I mean, give me a break. I remember I first started getting pitch counted in like Little League. I was like 12, and I could only throw like, I don't know, 80 pitches a week or something. So I could go 35 pitches on this Saturday, and I'm really hot, and I got to go, and my arm's fine. All fucked up. Oh, it's for my safety. No, it's not for my safety. I can keep going. I don't, not a problem. So let's go Philadelphia. And, they do have the better bullpen and the better hitting and the better team. And they did lose Friday, so I look for them to pound them. The Dodgers in Detroit, I have no pitchers. The Detroit, I know, is using their bullpen. I'm going to go over 9.5 here because Detroit's is hitting the ball. And I'll make it 3 units. Now, I know it's a bullpen guy because I heard on the radio yesterday. I don't know what the Dodgers are pitching. They don't really have the ace. So let's go over because Detroit's hitting and the Dodgers are hitting. So this is a good over. I can't believe Detroit won yesterday, down 9-4. That was ridiculous, but we'll see. So look for the game, a high scoring game here. Miami, Cincinnati. So here's where I'm going. The streak. Detroit's scoring a lot of runs. The Dodgers always score a lot of runs. Neither team has a bullpen, so it's but they're streaking now. They're scoring a lot now, and then it'll fall off. All right. Miami, Cincinnati. Cincinnati minus 185 and 9. Trevor Rogers for Miami, 1-9 with the 4.82. Nick Lodolo, 8-3 with the 3.00. So let's go Cincinnati. I'm not going to bet Nick Lodolo. Not bad, 8-3 with the 3. Trevor Rogers, yeah, maybe I will. Trevor Rogers, 1-9 with the 4.82. Trevor ain't winning the game. All right, Cincinnati, 3 units. Colorado and the Mets. This has been high scoring, and the Mets have been killing them. The Mets 208.5. Jermaine Marquez 0-0 with an 0-0-0. Colorado's running out of pitchers, and Jose Quintano 4-5 with a 3.91. Over under 8 now. Oh yeah, let's go over. NYM over 8.5. And we'll go 3 units. The Jets have been pounding them this day. They've been starting to hit the Mets, so I like that. Cleveland, Tampa. I mean, you either bet Cleveland or there's no way to bet this over under with great bullpen and great hitting. You don't know what so it's Cleveland to win or that's it. Ben Lively 8-4 with a 3.59. Ryan Papot 5-5 with the 4.20. Boy, I want to bet Cleveland, but I'm going to leave it alone. Tampa, I don't know. Tampa's like, who are they? Pitt and San Diego and the White Sox. Pitt minus 185.9. Mitch Keller 10-5 with a 3.40 for Pitt. Jared Schuster 1-2 with a 3.52 for the lowly White Sox. They've won 27 games. They're 27-70. I mean, this is a professional team. The GM is still working there. The manager is still coaching there. This is unbelievable. Obviously, your players are all minor league. You need new players who actually know how to play baseball. I'm going to go under 9. I mean, I got 2 pitchers. I got a 3.40 and a 3.52. So let's go under. Pitt under 9. I'll go 3 units on that. I don't love it. I'm looking for my bitch today, my 5 unit. Washington, Milwaukee. Jake Irvin 7-7 with a 3.13 against Milwaukee. Colin Ray 8-3 with the 3.81. Here's our bitch. We're gonna go Washington under 9. We'll go 5 units. Jake Irvin 7-7, but he's got a 3.13. And Colin Ray, I like 8-3 with the 3.81. So this should be a low, 9, I think, is a little high there. Texas and Houston. Oh my God, here it is. This is our 10 unit play. Houston under 8. And we're going to go 10 units on this one. We've got Max Scherzer 1-2 with a 3.09 against Ronald no-hit Bianco 9-3 with a 2.53. This is what we live for. This is the game. Over under 8. Scherzer, they're not scoring runs on Scherzer. Blanco, they're not scoring runs on him. They're lucky to get 5 hits apiece. Over under of 8 is not 6. Why isn't it 6? Should be 6. This was a 2-1. We had Houston over 8.5 with 2 pigs pitching yesterday. We didn't get there. Now we got 2 superstars pitching, and it's over 8. Thank you. 10-star. This is the lock of the day. Texas, Houston, under 8. Scherzer and Bianco. Where the hell is Verlander? I need some more under pitchers. The Cubbies and the Cardinals, they played a doubleheader yesterday. St. Louis minus 135, 8.5. James Talon, 6-4 at 2.99 against Miles McCollum. Every other day, Miles McCollum is pitching 7-7 with the 4.80. Let's go Cubbies. But I'm not going to bet them. The Twins and the Niners. The Twins won a low-scoring game yesterday. The Niners went over on Friday night, and yesterday was an under, so we don't know what we got. We got to see the pitchers. Chris Paddock, 5-3 with the 5.18. Blake Snell, 0-3 with the 7.8. And the over-under is 7.5. The Scherzer 2 superstars, it's an 8, and here it's a 7.5. All right. 49ers over 7.5 with the 5.8. I'm going to play this for 5 units. This is a joke. I mean, they both can hit, and you got a 5.18 against the 7.85. Okay, thank you. Seattle and California. Seattle can hit, very weak. Seattle minus 165, 8.5 in California. Logan Gilbert 6-5 with a 2.94. Carson Fulmer 0-2 with the 3.8. But we're going to go under here. We're going to go Cal under 8.5, and we'll play this for 3 units because Seattle can't hit. Atlanta, San Diego. We had a pitcher's duel. Dylan Cease against their Atlanta's ace, and it was a 4-0 game. So keep that in mind. Atlanta's a 175.7. That's why Chris Sale 12-3 with the 2.74. Randy Vasquez 2-4 with the 4.66. We go Atlanta. We go 5 units. This is what we love. The Chris Sale 2.74. Now, would we go under? Yes, if it was Dylan Cease. But it's Randy Vasquez with the 4.66. Atlanta should hit him pretty good. Chris Sale, don't look for San Diego to score much. So this is definitely this is where you take Chris Sale versus going under. That's always the decision. Like Scherzer, Bianco. Is Scherzer against Joe Blow, we go Scherzer. But Scherzer, Bianco, it's a beautiful under. Verlander, Scherzer, beautiful under. And here's, Bob Gibson and Koufax. Man, I wish go back to the future when they were pitching against each other. Man, what's the over/under? 3? I'll go under Koufax and Gibson. Jesus. So we like Atlanta. And the last but not least, Toronto, Arizona. We had Arizona over 9 yesterday at 1. They scored a ton. Arizona's minus 168. UC Kikuchi 4-8 with the 4 against Zach Gallen 6-5 with the 3.33. Hardly what we would expect to be a high scoring game. I think Arizona should do. I mean, they exploded yesterday. I don't know. Let's look at UC Kikuchi. The user from Japan. Let's see. Undrafted. An undrafted free agent. Now let's look at his last 5. 7 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 4 runs, 2 innings, 4 runs, 4 innings, 5 runs. So this guy's been a pig the last 5. So the user, so that leaves Zach Gallen. Let's look at Zach the last 5. I already know what Chris Sale's been doing, Bianco and Scherzer. That's why I didn't go into them. Those I kind of keep an eye. I know Chris Sale. I know, so when they pitch, you remember what they're doing. I know Bianco no-hit Detroit, and I know I know what Sale did, and then I know what Scherzer's been pitching great. Just he's had bad, like today. They'll probably be a 2-1 game, and he'll probably lose because he's just having bad luck. But he's not giving up runs. Let's see. This is Zach Gallen. Last 5. Gave up 5 to Atlanta. 5 innings, 5 to Atlanta. 4 innings, 3 to the Dodgers. 6 innings, shutout of Oakland. 7 innings, 3 to Miami. 6 innings, 3 to Detroit. 6 innings, 2 to Baltimore. 6 innings, shutout of Cincinnati. And they got Toronto. I don't know what happened in the Met game. He 0 innings pitched, gave up a hit, no runs, didn't pitch anything. They lost 3-2. So I don't know what that is. So 3-5 the last 2, but against the Dodgers in Atlanta. Toronto is what? Toronto hits 235 with a 4.77 ERA. They kind of suck. All right, we'll take Arizona here. Now, you know what? I'm going to go Arizona over 8. I think that is the way to riches, 3 units. Because Zach's been giving up some runs. Kikuchi's been giving up runs. The bullpen sucks. Arizona pounded them for 12 yesterday. So that's what we got. So we've played the Yankees over 9 as our 11:30 game, and that's why I didn't bet it because it's already gone. But I think they'll get some runs today. KC 3 units, Philly 3 units, Detroit over 9.5, bullpen day for Detroit. I don't know who the Dodgers have. They don't have anybody good. That's 3 units. Cincinnati, 3 units. The New York Mets over 8.5, 3 units. Pitt under 9, 3 units. And now we get to the good teams. Washington under 9, 5 units. Houston under 8, 10 unit. That's our lock. The Cubs didn't bet it. Frisco over 7.5, 5 units. California under 8.5, 3 units. Chris Sale, Atlanta, 5 units. And Arizona over 8, 3 units. That is today's plays. As I said, the video yesterday got deleted by YouTube because I put on that Nazi gold stuff where Hitler basically, so I'll explain it since they won't let me air it. And basically, Hitler goes in the war and they're broke, right, from the whole 1920 thing. So they had some gold that was spent. So his finance minister says, we don't have any more money. He fires them. Oh, wait, I don't want to hear reality. So Hitler, what does he do? He goes to war and he invades Poland and Czechoslovakia. And then he goes up to Amsterdam and Brussels and France, and he steals all the gold. And that was the point of the war, was to go steal. Then he went to Russia to steal their gold. And he wanted to steal England's gold, but he couldn't do it. So all he's doing is invading countries to steal gold, really. The whole we're going to take world dominations is the cover to steal gold. Like they're doing it now. Right? Not the Germans, but the Chinese and the Russians, right? Okay, we'll steal all the gold, but we're not going to have a war. And then, of course, the U.S., no, you can't keep doing the gold, and the U.S. and Russia are fighting over the gold and the oil and minerals in Ukraine. China's loading up on gold, and the U.S. wants to do this Taiwan thing to say, yeah, we'll have a war, and it's bullshit. Anyway, so I was trying to show you what Hitler, the whole point of World War II was Hitler trying to steal gold. And it was a good thing. And it was a weird, I never heard of this station. And it was just out for a day, but it was 10 years old. Mark McGuire had dark hair. And they showed him whistleblowing. So we don't need to see that. We really don't need to see it. Then they explain derivatives, which are basically all paper and all the selling and buying, and that's what it was about. So we talked about it all. It was really just a reference to what I'm talking about. Here's the backlog of it. All right. So we will get more in economics after we do this, but I promised the Big 12, and I'm going to do the Big 12. So, what happened to Trump? What do you mean, what happened to Trump, Greg? John, he got shot in the ear. I don't even understand your question there. We know what happened to him. The guy, I got one of these, and the guy shot about 7 or 8 shots. Must have been a windy day. He needs Jack Bauer to protect him. So he takes one in the ear, which is, I wonder what really happened. If they wanted him dead, he'd be dead, right? I've watched enough 24 to know when Jack Bauer wants to shoot you and kill you, he does. When he wants to wound you, he wounds you. The guy shoots him in the ear, not in the head. How could he hit his ear? And I'm sure he was a good sniper, right? So it makes you really wonder what really happened, because that's what I do, is I dig into it. Did the sniper actually try to kill him and missed, or did he actually shoot for the ear and hit the ear, and then the rest of the shots didn't come close to him, what kind of sniper is that? Again, I watched enough Jack Bauer to know that doesn't make sense. So you're almost thinking that the sniper missed him on purpose or hit his ear on purpose, because I can't imagine if he wanted to put it in his head, he would have put it in his head, especially with the other shots. So I don't know who's doing this. The Chinese, the Russians. No, if the Russians wanted him dead, he'd be dead. And the same thing with the Chinese. Their soldiers aren't going to miss. Right? If Putin says kill him, he's dead. Right? And I don't know that they would do it like that. They'd probably poison his coffee or something. Right? So I'm really wondering what the real story is. Using logic and not, oh yeah, you got shot in the ear. That's a hard shot. You got to be fucking accurate to shoot the guy in the ear. All right. So I don't know if it's the CIA or who's doing it. He had a U.S. military uniform on, so I don't know what that means. They killed him, so it could be Russian, but I can't imagine the Russian guy or the Chinese guy missing him. So we will see. Anyway, that's what's going on with him. I don't know. Yankees are starting soon. Yes, they are. They've already started. Okay, Greg and John. All right, so we've explained what happened yesterday. We will go through that. I've explained that. Well, let me do Mark McGuire's. Let me kind of keep economics, and then I'll go into the Big 12.
If you've got more than $10,000 in the bank and you're thinking about investing in e-commerce or trucking automation,
why would I do?
It was no coincidence that this was the moment. More chance in the future, but I hope this has been helpful. And Shane, my friend, as far as silver's concerned, is about to significantly outperform gold. Structurally, silver looks just as well set up as it was when gold broke out from 2000 in February. Silver is coiling for a large catch-up rally, which will see the all-time $50 highs easily challenged. There are very, very large short stops identified above $35, and that looks absolutely magnetic for a rinse pretty soon. And this looks really ready to be achieved by the end of this third quarter. So really,
okay. So he said this before. Well, he said it's going to 30, which it did, and 35. And then it'll go to 50 and challenge by the end of the third quarter. Let's see what happens. We hope it happens, but let's see it. Is he forgetting it's price fixed in COMEX derivative? I guess he is forgetting that. People don't quite understand it. It's all fixed by the derivatives. So to say it's going to go up, it's only going to go up if they run out of derivatives, but silver is not going to run out of derivatives because the gold will, because you need the physical, but not the silver. However, the demand by the Indians and the Chinese for the silver, but China wants a low price. So are you really going to get 50? I question that, but we will see. We're hoping for it. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you. I know Luke keeps when's gold, when's silver going up. And to say it's going to outperform gold is a misleading percentage-wise. Going from 30 to 33 is 10%, but gold will have to go from 2,400 up 240 to 2,640 to do the same 10%. So we get a $3 rise in silver. Who cares? Now we're at 33 versus 2,640 in gold. So that's bullshit. When they say that, I think it's stupid because you're talking dollars versus pennies. So do I care if silver goes up 20 cents? No. We need it to break COMEX. But gold, I think, is breaking COMEX, and that's the real point. So we're waiting on that, but we're happy to see gold survive 24.20 or 24.12. Keep in mind now, the next 2 days are going to tell us a lot. If COMEX does a nice drop, a nice Eddie Murphy put option and lowers the price, then it's back into the 23.70s, 23.80s. However, if we don't see that on Monday, if it goes up and there's no 10 o'clock drop and it goes, then we're going to see 2,500 next week. So it's the U.S. 10 o'clock derivative that's been holding us back, and hopefully that is finally running out, and more of the buying by the central banks will get the price up. Anyway, so I wanted to touch base there. Again, this is the video.
And below, you will get
billions of years ago, the Earth passed through an exploding star.
So this is the video that they took down, so I can't play it. The Secret World of Gold. I would avoid this Trading Coach UK. Don't really like that they would block me or whatever. Especially it's 1 day ago, but it's not even their video. This is a video that was probably 10 years old. Mark McGuire being a whistleblower and all that. All right.
as the new year.
We're going to go through Rolex later. So anyway, so you've got what's going on in silver. You've got, they're buying China, Russia, they're all buying gold as much as they can get. And really what they're doing is taking advantage of the cheap price. Well, if the U.S. is going to keep the price down, we're going to buy it. So the U.S. is killing themselves by keeping the gold price down. It should be much higher. It should be market. So that's like saying this card they got for $5. Oh, okay. I mean, where do I buy them? You know, this is $1,000 card. Oh, I can get it for $5. That's what gold is. Gold is way undervalued because of the price fixing by the U.S. They don't realize what they're doing. They're allowing all these people to buy very cheap, which is why I suggest buy it now. If you buy it now, you're not going to see these prices anymore very shortly, especially with this, September, October, BRICS going to a gold-backed currency. It's definitely happening. And that's it. And then all the central banks everywhere but the U.S. buying gold, which makes you wonder who's running the U.S. Just like who shot Trump in the ear instead of the head. Who's destroying the U.S. and what's their point? My guess is China. They benefit. George Soros, he benefits. One of those two. All right. We'll go to football and we'll go back to more to Rolex and stuff like that. So the Big 12 is now the Big 16. Utah, Kansas State, Oak State, Kansas, Arizona's moved over, West Virginia, Iowa State, TCU, Texas Tech. UCF was there last year. Colorado moves over from the Pac-10. Baylor, Arizona State moves over from the Pac-10. BYU, who was independent. Cincinnati and Houston, both from Conference USA, move over. So you got 16 teams. It's a nightmare. So let's go through it. Arizona, very good. Noah Fafita, excellent quarterback. The Wildcats return the core of the squad that beat 5 top 25 teams, including Oklahoma. Well, see, Oklahoma in the Alamo Bowl doesn't mean anything. Dylan Gabriel didn't play. So I hate when they use the bowls when nobody's playing as an example. Fish left a loaded offense and a strong defense, a tribute to his recruiting after taking over the program. They had lost 11 straight games. Fish, the Arizona coach, is now the Washington coach. So look for Washington not to lose too much. He's a good coach. I don't know how many people stayed at Washington, and he didn't get his quarterback. So Fafita did not go to Washington with the coach. So he needs a quarterback and the system. But Washington should be fine. Arizona looks like they'll be fine. Fafita is a savvy, accurate. He's a very good quarterback. He needs to find a number 2 receiver and a go-to tight end. But Colorado transfer, whatever, are capable receivers. Who knows? Brennan hired 2 elite coordinators. Syracuse head coach Dina Barbers, who's a good offensive guy. Dwayne Akina, I have no idea. We're part of Arizona. So Brent Brennan is the new coach. And where does he come from? Brent Benjamin is a proven winner at a program, San Jose State, where it's really hard. So he's a San Jose State, was not too bad. So I don't mind. This guy sounds okay. Washington's coach will be fine with Fish going there from Arizona. Alabama will be fine with DeBoer. They won't have that killer defense as much, which they really didn't have as much anyway. It was a run defense and too many teams pass. But DeBoer, he'll have a very good offense, which they've had anyway. So look for them. Georgia's still better because they're great defense and offense, and Alabama won't be as strong defensively. Now we'll see what would have happened if Washington played Georgia in the playoff, because Alabama plays Georgia. And what would have been a lock under, now we have to really figure out what's going on. We know Georgia, we believe Alabama will be explosive offensively. And the way they played Oregon, maybe we take Washington as Alabama as the dog if they're getting 70 points. So Arizona looks excellent. Arizona State sucks. While some Devils won't be world beaters, it would be a surprise if they become bowl eligible in their second year under coach Kenny Dillingham. The overall trend line is an upswing as most of the starters won't be seniors, and they've shown they can successfully evaluate. I don't know about that. They won 3 games, beating Southern Utah, and then they beat Washington State 17-7 is the impressive game. Beating Washington State 38-27 is impressive. They scored 3 on Utah, 7 on Washington, 13 on Oregon, which is good, and they got killed by Arizona. So I'm not raking this team very good. They opened at home against Wyoming. Wyoming's got a new quarterback. This will be an interesting game. Then they got Old Mississippi State. They got to play Kansas, Utah, Cincinnati, Oak State, Kansas State, and at Arizona. It's going to be, they'll be lucky to go 500. Their quarterback is Sam Levitt, a freshman. They brought in redshirt freshman Sam Levitt from Michigan State. Well, Michigan State didn't have a good quarterback last year. So he's the starter. Rashida, the starter, transferred to Georgia. I don't know what Georgia wants him for. Good skill positions. So do they have a killer defense? 10 or more transfers should be in, 2 deep for a defense that looked surprisingly capable in spring ball. Well, spring ball, what does that mean? Good secondary. See, you can't. This guy's a transfer. That guy's a. Well, that's totally different. You don't know. So we will see. Ken Dillingham is 3-9 last year. I think we'll get a lot from Wyoming and Old Mississippi State. I don't think they'll be very good. Arizona is the good team. Baylor. This is a make or break season for Aranda after losing 7 of 8 home games and ending last year on a 5-game losing streak. He is firmly on the hot seat with a new offensive outlook and a defense that made it in his image. Time will tell if the changes pay off. The quarterback is a good one from Toledo. Daquan Finn is a senior who transferred. He was very good at Toledo. So they should have a good offense. Their defense kind of blows. They open up against Tarleton, never heard of. Then at Utah, they're going to get their ass kicked. Baylor should be able to score, but that's about it. I don't see a defense there. I don't know the quarterback. The coach is 23-25 in 4 years. Doesn't sound promising. BYU. So it's a new quarterback for Baylor. So look for them to be an offensive team, probably an over team. BYU, Jake Retzliff, a junior, new. Junior college transfer. They took over the final 4 games and they sucked. Baylor quarterback Bohannon is transferred here. So both quarterbacks kind of suck. Final analysis: the Cougars enter the 24 season on a 5-game losing skid. State squad should be better this year if you can find a capable quarterback and the defense improves against the run. Don't bank on BYU. So BYU is going to be kind of weak this year. They open with Southern Illinois at SMU. Is going to be a tough game for them. At Wyoming, maybe. Then they get Kansas State, Arizona, Oak State, Utah, Kansas, and then end at Houston, which has a great coach. So look for Houston to be better. But I don't know this quarterback. Anyway, we'll see. So, you watch the Southern Illinois game and see if they score 30 points. If they don't, they're in big trouble. Cincinnati, they were good in the Conference USA. They come here not so good. Scott Satterfield is 3-9 last year because Luke Fickell went to Wisconsin where he's struggling there. Again, I don't know why these coaches change. He's good at Cincinnati. Why are you leaving? And then he goes to Wisconsin, who wants to be strong defense. He keeps bringing in he brought in the SMU quarterback last year. Now he's bringing in Tyler Van Dyke to run an air raid that they aren't capable of running. They don't have the linemen for it. They don't have the receivers. They've never had good receivers at Wisconsin. They're more of a pound it. I don't think you can just, let's do an air raid. All right, you got Van Dyke, who was supposed to do an air raid at Miami. That didn't work last year. It was the funniest air raid because they ran a lot. So I don't know. We will see. Ultimately, Cincinnati's success this year will hinge on Sorsby's ability to lead the offense. Sorsby's the quarterback. Assuming he wins the job, and the Bearcats' ability to make explosive plays. While the defense has been reinvigorated, it's unfair to expect to be one of the best units in the Big 12, but with the influx of experienced defensive backs and overall depth. So it sounds like they're another under team, good defense, weak quarterback. They'll be heavily relying on the run game. So so this is Army-Navy. We're going to run and play defense under. They open at Towson. Then they got Pittsburgh, at Miami of Ohio, Houston. Pretty easy schedule until Iowa State, Kansas State, TCU at the end. They avoid Arizona. They get Houston early, which Houston late's going to be a problem. Colorado, all about Colorado and Coach Prime Jr., who takes 50 sacks because he doesn't want to throw an interception. They have no running attack, no defense. They're an over team. We got that. They open with North Dakota State, and then they got big Nebraska, which they beat 36-14 last year. They're not going to beat them 36. See, they snuck up on people. They snuck up on TCU, Nebraska. Then they went to Oregon and lost in game 4, 42-6. That is the problem. So let's see who they got as far as defense this year. At Nebraska is a good defensive team. At Colorado State should be high scoring. Baylor should be high scoring. Kansas State should kill them. At Arizona is going to be a problem. Cincinnati is going to be a problem because of the defense. Utah, no chance. Kansas, no chance. Oak State, they got problems with this schedule. So we don't really need to talk about primetime or primetime junior. You know all about them. Final analysis. The hype of Coach Prime 5 debut, Power 5 debut behind him. Colorado enters 2024 trying to silence the naysayers, and Sanders will lean on the array of transfers to carry anything short of a postseason bid will be a. Yeah, you're dreaming anything short. If they get 5 wins, it'll be great. Not with that schedule. You need a defense to win. They don't have one. Now they brought in transfers. What does that do? That means they're not very good because they aren't starting on their teams and they transferred out. Why would you, if you're a good defensive player, go to Colorado? I mean, that makes no sense. Colorado has no defense. I mean, so my defense is going to look pretty bad. Anyway, Houston's got Donovan Smith. He kind of sucks. He's kind of like Uglia Buglia. He's not very good, more of kind of a runner. But they got the coach. They got Willie Fritz, outstanding coach, was Tulane's coach. They're in the top 10. Look for Houston to be much better, a strong dog. Since reaching the AAC title game in 2021, Houston has taken a step back. A transition period can be expected as Fritz has big questions to address at all 3 phases. Fritz has been a proven winner every stop, so here goes Houston. Not much there. Quarterback, again, seniors back. Lost a lot of players. They open with UNLV, and then at Oklahoma, Rice, Cincinnati, Iowa State, TCU, Kansas, Utah. Holy fuck. Can't look at this schedule. They go Iowa State, at TCU, a home to Kansas, Utah, Kansas State, Arizona. Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. Not good. That's a very tough schedule. And then Baylor and BYU, and that's at BYU, so that's not going to be a picnic either. Houston might be a better team, but not with this schedule. Oof. So we'll keep an eye on them. We'll see what they do against Vegas, who's a very explosive team also. And their quarterback went to back up at USC. We'll see if he plays Mavia, who was a good quarterback. They were scoring a lot of points last year, Vegas. Iowa State, Rocco Beck is a sophomore, has a pretty good quarterback. Again, strong defense, great coach, Matt Campbell. This is who I thought the Lions got when they said they got Campbell. I said, wow, they get the Iowa State coach. And then I saw who it was and go, he's never coached before. Why didn't they go after this guy? Great defense, very strong coach, very solid coach. He beat Oklahoma and Texas. He was, very good about that. They beat Oak State with the great running back last year. Got killed by Oklahoma. Beat Cincinnati. Beat Baylor. Lose to Kansas 28-21. Lose to Texas 26-16. Beat Kansas State. Holy shit, 42-35. So now we start with North Dakota at Iowa. That's our under. Arkansas State, at Houston, Baylor, West Virginia. Pretty easy schedule. UCF, Texas Tech, Kansas, Utah, and Kansas State. So I only really have 3 tough games. Look for Iowa State. Well, the Iowa game. It's at Iowa. It was 10-7 last year. Figure 10-7. Any over 35, it's an under. If it's a 40, it's a lock. But good quarterback. Rocco Beck is a good quarterback. And he was fucking up my unders like against Kansas State, 42-35. What was that? And then 36-26 to Memphis, 26-16 to Texas. Puts up 45 on BYU, and they play Kansas 28-21. So you got to be careful. The quarterback's good. So it's going to be like we either bet Iowa State as a live dog or like against Iowa, but I'm not sure we bet them as under like we've been, although they will have a great defense. 9 guys back. Iowa State should be in the mix to compete for a Big 12 title. 9th-year head coach Matt Campbell is both a winning culture and aims. And in the Big 12, that is in trend. Iowa State should benefit from the Campbell consistency. Yeah, Iowa State is a very good team to bet. They're a very live dog. They're a very live under. They're a dog when they shouldn't be, or they're too much of a dog. Like the Texas game, they were probably 14-point dogs. They lost by 10, and you tease them up to 20. So be careful. They're very live. Kansas, great team. New Lance Leopold, 17-21 in 3 years. All of a sudden, they got an offense. They got a quarterback. They're winning games, and now they're adding defense. This guy's a very good coach, Lance Leopold. He was at I don't know, whoever would win the Division II, he was always winning it. Then he went to Buffalo, and they were very good. And they were winning the MAC, and now he's at Kansas, and they're very good. I don't know. I'm not crazy about Daniels, their quarterback. He keeps getting hurt. I like Bean, the other quarterback. He'd come in, and he was good. So they got Cole Ballard, a freshman, so he's probably pretty good. He just played in 3 games last year, and he suffered a back injury. Devin Neal is a strong running back and good wide receiver, and so they got the receivers, tight ends, and running backs. They just need the quarterback. So they get the Baylor offensive coordinator. So the Kansas offensive coordinator is now at Penn State. Let's keep that in mind. And Baylor's offensive coordinator is now here. The coach will run his offense. Final analysis, this is it. The Jayhawks' best chance to make a real run at a conference. Kansas head coach Leopold's team boasts 30 seniors, and most of those players are back from last year's 9-win team. There was a few plays away from 11 or 12 victories. Daniel's health will be key, and the Jayhawks will need to mine the portal or develop players to fill the cracks on defense. So it's a good over team, which is what we've been betting on the last 3 years. This Cole Ballard, do they talk about him? No. I'm sure he's a good quarterback to go. Kansas is a good offensive team. So if we look at him last year, they lost to Texas 40-14, lost to Oak State 39-32, beat Oklahoma 38-33, beat Iowa State 28-21, lost to Kansas State 31-27, killed Cincinnati, and then killed Vegas in the bowl game 49-36. They open against Lindenwood. Well, what is that? All right, anybody? What state is it in? At Illinois. There'll be a live dog there versus UNLV in Kansas City at Arrowhead, I assume. That'll be an explosive game. At West Virginia will be an explosive game. TCU will be explosive. They should kill Arizona State, Houston. At Kansas State, that's a big rivalry. Should be explosive. Versus Iowa State's where you got, are they going to be able to score on them? Last year it was 28-21. So if the over's in the 40s, we can the total we can go under. At BYU, they'll win. Colorado, they'll win. And it's funny, the one game's at Kansas City, Kansas, and the other game's at Kansas City, Missouri. So the Colorado game is at Arrowhead, and then at Baylor on the 30th. Not too bad. Kansas State, Iowa State, and TCU, West Virginia. At West Virginia will be tough, and we'll see how Houston is at the time. So overall, not too bad of a schedule. Again, this Daniel, and we'll have to see this Cole Bell. He's got to get him ready. Daniel's always hurt. He was hurt 2 years ago, and he was hurt last year, and Bean came in. And I remember a bet I had with Kansas 2 years ago. I got the game bet over, and Daniels gets hurt. I go, fuck. He was pretty good the first couple of weeks. I'm going to bet him over, and he comes in, and he gets hurt in the first quarter. I'm checking the box score. Who's Bean? And Bean lights it up, man. He doesn't, no problem. Bean lights it up, and off we go. And, so Daniels, he gets hurt. He got hurt. He played 3 games last year. You can't count on the guy. He gets hurt too often. Sounds good. Okay. Who do you like, the Yankees or the Orioles? What are you saying, today or in the future, or to win what's your question? I think the Orioles are a good team. The Yankees, they're streaky. We'll see who has the better pitching, I would say. Kansas State. Kansas State has Chris Kleiman. He's 39-24. Took over for Bill Snyder. Good coach. They lost Will Howard to Ohio State, which will be a very much improvement for Ohio State for the quarterback. Avery Johnson's a sophomore. He's got a new offensive coordinator to replace Colin Klein, who left for A&M. So Kansas State's offensive coordinator is at A&M. So he promoted offensive line coach. Also joined the staff to mentor quarterbacks, his former Texas Tech and Utah State coach, Matt Wells. Matt Wells is the guy that made Jordan Love at Utah State, and then he went to Texas Tech for some reason, and Jordan Love fell apart when he left. That's what Green Bay should get, is Matt Wells for Jordan Love. So he's a good one. So Kansas State will be okay. Quarterback Avery Johnson provides a nice security blanket as players and coaches adjust. Johnson arrived a year ago as perhaps the most consequential project. His first career start at quarterback came with a win over NC State. So he's a sophomore, so he's not played a lot. Defense, they always have a good defense. They always have a good team. Given the K-State upgraded at quarterback and his skill upgraded at quarterback, Will Howard is not an upgrade. You didn't upgrade from Will Howard. And his skill position talent, the Wildcats could be dangerous. If the offensive line holds up, they should be able to pair an effective offense with an experienced defense and challenge for a second Big 12 title. So we'll keep an eye on the quarterback. If they run and he's not those too many interceptions, they're an under team. Great defense. And then they'll run the ball. Otherwise, they're an A team if the quarterback can play, but we don't know. Hasn't played before. Good coach. Like I said, 39-24. So Kansas State, very good team. Kansas, very good team. Oak State, best runner in the country, Ollie Gordon Jr., 1,700 yards. The guy's Jim Brown. I mean, you give him the ball right up the middle, breaks the tackle, and outruns everybody just really fast. I've been watching these World Series things on YouTube. Very nice, half hour, and you see the whole series. Although some of you can't see, like the guy hits, but you don't see the ball, or some of them you don't see in the early 60s. So in the 62 series, no, 60. I think it was 62 or 63. It's the Giants against, I think, the Yankees. And there's a young Willie Mays, and the Yankees win. But there's a play. Willie Mays hits a ball to the wall, and he's running to second, and he looked like a fucking freight train. This guy looked like Bo Jackson. Big, thick chest, but he could fucking move. He got the second, not a problem. He looked like a Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, basically playing baseball. If he'd have played football, he'd have been a great running back. I mean, he was very fast. And that's probably how he made that over-the-shoulder basket catch. It's a very easy catch if you play football, because when you go out as a receiver, you look over your shoulder and you pick up the ball and you catch the ball. It's a very easy catch, again, if you're coordinated. And so that's how he made the basket catch, because if you play football, and I'm sure he did, it's not hard. But he looked like a freight train running around. I mean, that guy's he's in the wrong sport, right? He's definitely Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson, very fast. Okay, you're whatever, Greg or John. Greg or John's like in space right now. I don't know what his question was, but anyway. Oak State. Oak State overcame a sluggish start, building momentum that culminated in the appearance in the Big 12 title and 10 wins with a star in Gordon leading a veteran roster. He's the running back. Can these Cowboys make a bid to become the Big 12's premium program minus SEC bound Texas and Oklahoma? Who's their quarterback? Ellen Bowman. He was okay. Too many interceptions. Give the ball to Gordon. The defense has 10 back. Wow. The group needs to be better. So even though they got 10 back, they need to be better for the team to reach its lofty goals. So probably more of an over team. Mike Gundy, well, he's been there 19 years. We know all about him. Good offensive coach, not a good defense. They never really had this strong defense. And that's the problem with coaches like that. They have a good offense, but they don't really understand you need the good defense. So they open with South Dakota State. Then they go to Arkansas. KJ Jefferson's gone, Bobby. They got Utah, Kansas State, West Virginia, TCU, and that's it. So they should be in contention. They're a good team, especially in conference. TCU, Sonny Dykes, 18-9, go to the championship game against Georgia 2 years ago. Last year they played like poo-poo. 5-7 last year. They did beat SMU. They lose to West Virginia, Iowa State, Kansas State, Texas, and Oklahoma killed them. They did beat Baylor. Josh Hoover returns at quarterback. TCU's sudden decline in 2023 caught most people by surprise, but realistically, the Frogs should bounce back in 24. They have the weapons on offense. They added talent to the secondary and defense, and the scheme changes should do wonders. If they get high-level quarterback play, the Frogs could make. So, in other words, let's go back to 2 years when they beat Michigan, scoring 80 points in that game. It's a very good offensive coach, Sonny Dykes, so look for a very good offense. Will the defense be good? But they should be much improved. They open at Stanford, then they got UCF at SMU, and then the fun starts. Kansas should be an over. Houston should be an over. At Utah, very tough game. Texas Tech and Baylor, Oak State, Arizona, Cincinnati. So they don't really have their hardest game is obviously Kansas and Utah, and then Oak State. So look for them to be good. But again, Josh Hoover's okay, but he's not great. So one of the problems is, okay, so TCU's got this guy, Chandler Morris, but he sucked. Well, he's transferred. So now you're looking at the trend. Well, we got Chandler Morris from TCU. Yeah, but he sucks. See, that's what you got to understand about the transfer. Just because you got a quarterback from TCU, but he's not a good quarterback. I don't know how good this Josh Hoover is. His stats weren't really great last year. So that's what you really are looking at is how good is the quarterback. So when you're getting these transfers in, now Will Howard, we know from Kansas State's really good. The guy from Vegas who went to USC is very good. They should start him. They probably won't. They'll probably start the guy who played in the bowl game against the team that didn't, none of their players played. But really the better quarterback is the guy from Vegas. He was very good. Vegas was very good last year. So I love when you find these teams that Vegas is a Z team, and then they change their offense, get a good quarterback in. We did it with New Mexico State with Dago Pavia. They were terrible. And then all of a sudden they won 10 games last year and beat Auburn. And that's what you're looking for, that quarterback, a new coach who's good, and then the quarterback who's good. And that's why we always look at quarterbacks, because they make the difference. All right, so TCU should be live. Texas Tech. Baron Morton, he was okay, not great. The quarterback. Joe McGuire, 15-11 in 2 years. He's not a good coach. Head coach McGuire has endured significant roster turnover for the first time in his short tenure in Lubbock, but he has brought in enough talent to replace the roster and help the Red Raiders. If that's all they got to say about it. Starting quarterback Morton and a 1,500-yard rusher Tiber. So they got a good rusher. Tesla could take a major step even after going under a complete revamp on the offensive line at Tech. So Tech's probably an over team. Their defense, they got a really weak defense. They don't really have much of an offense. They did score 49 on Houston, 39 on Baylor, 35 at TCU, but not against really strong teams. Texas beat them 57-7. So keep your eye on that. They open with Abilene Christian. We don't know. They go to Washington State, who usually has a good defense. Then they get North Texas, who's explosive. That'll be an over. Arizona State, Cincinnati. At Arizona, being over. Baylor, TCU. Iowa State probably goes over. And then at Oak State, and they finish with West Virginia. So they're an average team. We'll see about their offense. We'll keep an eye on them. We're not going to learn much with Abilene Christian. I assume they beat them by 50 points. UCF has KJ Jefferson, Bobby's favorite from Arkansas. How the hell does he end at UCF? UCF was the only Big 12 newcomer to reach a bowl game last year, which seems like a successful benchmark considering the upgrade in competition. They went 6-7, so they made a bowl game at 6-6. That's a big deal. Optimism is high to take a big step forward if Jefferson can effectively lead the offense and the defense changes and gets well, UCF. So they're probably more of an over team. The coach, Gus Malzahn, was at Auburn when they played Florida State in the championship game. He's 24-16 in 3 years. They scored a lot last year, it looks like. 48 on a tough Villanova team, 56 on a Z team, Kent State, 31 on K-State, 35 on Baylor, 22 on Kansas, 29 on Oklahoma, 28 at Cincinnati, 45 on Oak State. God, they beat Oak State 45-3. What was that about? Texas Tech, they lost 20. They got 23. Houston. So this should be a pretty explosive offense, weak defense, definitely an over team. Jefferson can definitely light it up like he did at Arkansas. Again, so they open with New Hampshire and then Sam Houston. Okay, so that's going to tell us nothing. Utah gets Cam Rising back. They're the best. They're a playoff team. They're I'm going to call it Georgia, Ohio State, Utah, and not sure about Alabama, Texas. I'm not sure who else. Oregon. Those are your top four. Michigan actually has a schedule this year. Now you'll see a real Michigan team. That'll be key. The Texas-Michigan game, the winner should be in the playoff. Utah may be new to the Big 12, but the Utes may also have the best team in the conference. They return the best quarterback in the sport. They have added more weapons around them. Defensively, they always have a strong defense. Realistically, anything short of the playoff would be a letdown. This is like I said, this is a top 5 team with Cam Rising, who is playing. They go against Southern Utah. They should score 60 because Rising's going to be just excited to be out there. Baylor kill, Utah State kill. At Oak State should be interesting, but I think their defense will handle Gordon. Arizona will be a good game. TCU could be a good game. At Colorado, oh, I can't wait to see them. 63-0 Colorado. Iowa State will be a good game. Yeah, that's the one I want. Go kill Colorado. Hey, Real D. Shake my head, American. Wilting right now. We should move to Russia. Utah defense was lights out. Well, now they got Cam Rising, so now it's Georgia, it's Ohio State, it's Oregon, it's Utah, and number 5 could be Alabama with the coach. They got Milrose back. Maybe it's, I don't know about Michigan. I think it's Ohio State and Oregon there, and then Utah in the Big 12, and then Clemson. I don't think so. I'd love to see Georgia just shut them up 30-0. Yeah, I'm questioning it, Real D. Was it planned for shooting his ear? How could a sniper? Now, we watch 24 and we watch Mission Impossible and we watch all these sniper movies. And Jack Bauer, when he wants to, hits you in the ear. Plenty of times, even in Liam Neeson in what's that? Taken. He shoots the guy's wife in the knee. Oh, it's in the knee. She's fine. The next one will be between the eyes. So they know where to miss. This is what leads me to really go, did they shoot him in the ear on purpose? Like, how could they miss his head? We saw Attack on Wall Street. The guy from a mile away shoots the guy in the head. Boom. Right? So you really wonder how he missed him, because he did. He shot him in the ear. If he wanted to kill him, he'd have killed him. Right? That's my point. I think that was he missed on purpose there. I don't think that's a hard shot to hit you're going to miss the head and hit the ear. The head's this big, the ear's this big, and you're hitting the ear. Really? Almost seems planned. I don't know. They did kill the guy, so we'll never know. Is he Russian? Is he Chinese? Is he CIA? I mean, who is he? One of those 3. But again, if the Chinese or Russians wanted him dead, they'd have shot him in the head. CIA just might be bad at it, but that's the question I'm asking. Something smells to high heaven here. This is like 9/11. Oh, really? Where was the F-18s they weren't in the sky that day? Isn't that their job, to protect the airspace in New York? And then after the first one, where's the second one? So that smelled to high heaven. This smells to high heaven. The moon landing smells to high heaven. I love when they call it a conspiracy theory, because you don't believe the government is telling the truth, which it never does. Oh, there's no inflation. Really? Okay, I'll believe you. You printed how much? 21 million and 130 million outside, and you want to say there's no inflation. Okay. But Hitler's plan was to print all this fake British pounds and flood it to destroy the British pound. And drop it in England, and then they'd have all these British pounds, and they'd go broke. So we all know that's what it is. Yeah, so we're going to believe them. Yeah. So something smells very fishy here. Real D, yeah, you like that spread for Ohio State week 1. He did for propaganda purposes, so can use for the presidential race. I don't know about propaganda, because I think he's going to win anyway, because who the hell wants Biden? Biden's like 82 years old. You want him to run the country? Or is it the Chinese you want to still run? Why don't we just vote for the Chinese guy if he's going to be running it anyway? Yeah, I mean, it must be propaganda, because how did he miss his head? You miss the head and shoot the ear. And then I heard 5 or 6 other shots. So if you watch it, there was one, and it's like the shot coming, hits his ear, and then watch his reaction. And he doesn't go down because he knows they're not trying to kill him. And then you hear 4 or 5 other shots being taken. Now, maybe they were shooting at the sniper. Maybe it was the sniper shooting at him. And the sniper's wearing like army fatigue. Very fishy. I don't think he'd have missed the head. The attack on Wall Street guy did not miss the head from a lot farther distance. So yeah, I don't know if it's propaganda or what, but you bring a sniper and he ain't missing the head if he wants to hit the head. That's my point. Well, I think Trump's going to win, but I don't know what it means. We're still fucked. We still got the inflation, and you still got to buy gold. We'll see. You like the spread for Ohio State week 1. Let me see. What is the spread for Ohio State? It's like 50 points, 50.5, 58 to Akron. Yeah, I think Ohio State kills them. Akron's a Z team. They suck. Ohio State with a new offensive coordinator, new quarterback. Yeah, it's going to get ugly early. I think it'll be in the 50s at halftime or 40s at halftime. I think there's a score every possession. 2 good running backs, great receivers, and Will Howard and Chip Kelly calling the plays. And they struggled offensively last year, so they want to take it out on Akron. This is losing to Michigan 3 years in a row. And if the guy loses this year, he's gone, right? Then they'll replace him with Chip Kelly. So this is like his last chance. So I think he puts the gas pedal down, and Akron's terrible. So I would tease 44. I would take Ohio State minus 44 versus going over 52 because you're not going to get help from Akron. They're not going to score in the game. So you need Ohio State, but if I take 50 to 44, I only need 44 points. The other way, I need 52. But why I need an extra touchdown? Not that it'll matter. They'll probably get in the 70s. So we'll see. All I'm saying is that Trump should have. It was a hard shot to miss the head and hit the ear. You're doing it on purpose. Right. I've watched enough 24 to realize the real good sniper, who I'm sure if he's shooting from a building a mile away, knows what he's doing. The hitman, the attack on Wall Street guy, they're not going to miss. Right. They shoot what they hit what they're aiming for, and they're aiming for the ear. You don't hit the ear. You don't miss the head and hit the ear like the way they hit the ear. And watch Trump in the replays. He doesn't get down immediately. He's standing there, he gets hit, and then he's kind of still talking because he's not worried about getting hit because he knows that you're just taking my ear. You hear 4 or 5 other shots. I don't know what happened to them. So I don't know. I don't buy it. All right, West Virginia. Good team. Garrett Green, good quarterback. Coach Neil Brown is 31-29 in 5 years. Not bad. 9 wins were a big step for head coach Neil Brown and West Virginia. The next step is to contend for the Big 12 championship with an influx of transfers on defense and a ton of returning production. I think West Virginia will be very good, very strong offensively. They open with Penn State. Penn State's gone to the Kansas offensive coordinator, so look for them to be more explosive. And West Virginia will be much better at home. It's a revenge game. I definitely like West Virginia here. And that's it. That is the Big 18, the Big 16. I love it. It's the Big 12. Well, why don't you call it the Southwest Conference again? Because it ain't the Big 12. Michigan's the Big 18, but they don't call it that. So that's it. So if we look at what we just did, Utah definitely the best. And then it's Kansas State, Oak State, Kansas, Arizona in any order. Iowa State and West Virginia and TCU are very strong. The top 8 teams could all make the playoffs depending on how they do against each other. Texas Tech will suck. UCF will suck. Colorado will suck. Just offense. Baylor, Arizona, BYU, Arizona State. So now Houston could be the surprise team with the new coach. I would bet that Houston is not the 16th team in this conference. I could see Arizona State or Baylor or Colorado being the 16th team. Colorado's terrible. So I think Houston might be the second level. So if we look at the top 8, Utah's by far the number 1. They're the A team, and then the B teams are Kansas State, Oak State, Kansas, Arizona, West Virginia, Iowa State, and TCU. And then just under them, I think, are Houston, maybe, I don't know, UCF or Texas Tech. And then you got at the bottom Colorado, Baylor, Arizona State, BYU, Cincinnati. Cincinnati might be with Houston. So you keep that in mind. That's kind of where it stands in the Big 12. Kansas, Jalen Daniels, you can't trust him because he gets hurt. I mean, the last 2 years, he played like 3 or 4 games, got injured. 3 games last year, got injured. They were lucky they had Bean. This year, the quarterback's a freshman, but I'm sure he's pretty good because this is a good coach. Real D, Houston offense should be approved this year. I don't know. The quarterback stinks. And Willie Fritz, he was Tulane's coach. They were an A team. They had a great defense and a good – they had Bryn. I can't believe Bryn didn't get drafted, the Tulane quarterback. You're drafting Spencer Rattler. You're not drafting Hartman or Bryn. What's wrong with these guys? Bunch of fucking idiots running these teams. Anyway, I don't know about offensively. He'll be more basic. I just think Houston will be a better team. I think they'll be a better defensive team with this guy. He's an outstanding coach. Let's look at Tulane. God knows what conference they're in. I think they're the AAC. Navy, Rice, Temple. All right, here's Tulane. They're in the AAC. So last year, the worst game they played was they gave up 37 Old Mississippi and then 28 to North Texas and Rice, who could score, and a 26 to SMU, who could score. And they scored a lot, 35 on UAB, Memphis, North Texas, and Rice didn't have much defense. SMU, they lost 26-14 in the title game. They put up 37 on South Alabama, was pretty good. Memphis was pretty good defense. Not a lot of defense. Florida Atlantic, UTSA, not really strong defensive teams. So he scores. I got to go to my Excel spreadsheet to get more detail, but so I think he will. He's not a good quarterback. He's kind of like Uglia Buglia, kind of like an athlete. Uglia can run a little, but he's a terrible passer. Throws way too many interceptions, not enough touchdowns. And that's what Donovan Smith is, unfortunately. Now maybe Willie Fitz can coach him up, change some play, make him easier, little swing passes and crossing routes that maybe, anybody can throw. We'll see. But I think he's a good coach. He'll know what to do. My favorite to win is KC. Again, your favorite to win what? Houston offense should be approved this year. We're talking college football. Kansas City doesn't have a college football team. If you mean in the NFL, then, well, yeah, they won the last 2 Super Bowls. But I don't know. It's hard to beat Mahomes with a good defense. Andy Reid can't choke as he did in Philadelphia. I think the Rams are going to be better. They're the team to watch, and the Niners and Green Bay should be very good. Dallas will suck. Philadelphia, we're curious about. Baltimore, not with Lamar. Oakland needs a quarterback. San Diego needs a receiver. I don't know what that's about. They will have a better defense. They could challenge a little bit more San Diego. I think they'll make the playoffs, and they could beat KC. You know, they'll beat them once. Oakland beat them once last year. Denver, Bo Nix, but they're a year away, and that's about it. It's funny how everybody's talking Detroit. Well, they were impressive beating Atlanta and Carolina last year. I mean, give me a break. No, everybody wants to ignore the Baltimore game like it didn't happen. Well, you lost 38-0. I mean, what are we? Why are we ignoring it? I mean, you lost to Dallas, who really wasn't that good, 2019. You lost to the Bears and the Packers. You didn't really play anybody. This year you start with the Rams, probably a loss. I think you got the Niners. And then who else you got? And I don't know what their AFC schedule is, but I think they might get a break with the Jacksonville and Indy. I'm not sure. But the trouble with Green Bay, Chicago sucks. Minnesota sucks. No quarterback, so they should win them both. But the coach is not very good. Judging by what I'm seeing, impartially, watching a guy try to go for fourth down twice against the Niners and say, well, you know, that's just the way we are. We're aggressive. Yeah, how did that turn out? Oh, did you win the game? Oh, you lost because you went for it twice and didn't make it. Oh, okay. Yeah, and you're a good coach? Yeah, okay. You keep believing that. But he's the reason they lost. He's the reason they didn't make the Super Bowl. Goff's not a very good quarterback. We know that. It's kind of a fluky offense. But he disappears in the second half of the Niner game, the Ram game, and the Tampa game. And the Dallas game, throws 2 interceptions. So it's pretty pathetic. Real D, Jets should be good with that defense. Yeah, as long as Rodgers stays healthy, the Jets are definitely can give Kansas City all they want. I mean, it's basically the Niner defense with the Green Bay offense with Saleh, the Niner defensive coordinator, as a coach. It's just keep Rodgers healthy, and they'll be in the playoffs. They'll beat Buffalo, and Miami's terrible. And New England, well, I don't think New England will win a game. They could be the worst team. They have no coach. They have no quarterback. They have no defense. Them in Carolina will play for the first pick. Bengals will be good to great, but who knows? Well, as long as Joe Burrow is healthy, the Bengals have him and Chase. That's all they need. So, yeah, I mean, they're a Super Bowl team. They again, it's the injuries. This is why I tell you not to bet these. How many wins are the team going to have in the year? That's the stupidest bet you could make because you don't know about the injuries. You could have bet the Jets over last year. If you get hurt in the first game, you're fucked. Burrow gets hurt. I mean, so you're fucked. Mahomes didn't get hurt, right? And so that's the key to it is watching. That's why I don't like that. Just bet each week. Oh, is Burrow playing? Yeah, okay, I'll bet Cincinnati. I'll bet them for 17 weeks instead of how many games they'll win. The sucker bet, you don't know what the odds are. It's really a bad bet. Anyway, so that's your Big 16, or we'll call it the Big 12. Again, the 5 best teams in college football: Georgia 1, Ohio State, Oregon 2-3, Utah 4, and the winner of the mixed Michigan-Texas game 5. Alabama should be good with Washington's coach. Washington should be good with the Arizona coach. Arizona should be good, but not, the top. There's a difference between the top 5 and then the rest. So, again, Georgia and Ohio State and Oregon, both with revenge on their mind. And then Utah, talk about revenge on their mind. Utah has blood in their eyes with Cam Rising back. He is the best quarterback in college football should be the number one guy taken. Probably won't be because he's not an option quarterback. And then, number 5 will be the Michigan-Texas winner. Alabama should be good, but they lost a lot of defense. And this guy's not a great defensive coach. He's a great offensive coach. But I think they'll be all right. They'll have a tough time beating Georgia this time. Georgia fired their defensive coordinator for losing to Alabama. Look for them to blitz Milrose all day like Michigan did. So Michigan got lucky that Milrose fumbled at the 50, or they never would have beaten Alabama. We had the dog in the game, so we were fine. But Alabama, it's a good coach. DeBoer's a good coach. Anyway, yeah, you gotta keep an eye on the new coaches. Houston should be very good with Willie Fritz in college. The Oilers should be. They should have got Willie Fritz instead of the guy they got. They got the defensive coordinator from the Niners. They'd be a much better team with Willie Fritz as their coach, the Houston Gamble, whatever they are, than with this guy. Right? I don't like this guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. C.J. Stroud just runs around, and it's playground football. You don't win with playground football. Again, Baltimore killed them because all he could do is get a field goal, and they got a punt return. Okay, where's their offense? Oh, they played a good defensive team. They can't. Oh, in their conference, it's Indy, Jacksonville, and Tennessee. 4 shit teams. Oh, they were the best of the shit teams. So I'm not buying it. I'm not betting C.J. Stroud unless they're playing Jacksonville or Indy. But against real teams, there's a big difference between Baltimore and Frisco and the Rams and the KC and Houston. Houston's about 2 tiers down. Don't forget that. Now, if they would have went to Baltimore and he puts up 30 points and they beat Baltimore like Mahomes did, this guy's great. But I've seen him at Ohio State and I've seen him against Michigan, and he ain't great. He ain't it. So don't get all excited on Houston. Anyway, the Lions will come to earth with their schedule, much tougher than last year's. And, I don't know what people are looking at to think they're good. Yeah, they got lucky. They beat the Rams, and then they had Tampa in the playoffs. They got a fluke in a home game. They go out to the Niners, and then let's go for 4th down. Before you know it, they gave up 34 points to Brock Purdy. They have the same defense, same defensive coordinator. Oh, well, they drafted another cornerback from Alabama. Yeah, and how did that work? They drafted a cornerback from Alabama. He got burnt. They all got burnt. They couldn't cover a fucking receiver. Now all of a sudden they're better with the same coordinator. But we drafted. Yeah, but this is not college. This is pros. We don't even know if they're any good. So that's what you have when you're relying on rookies. Oh, okay. It's been working because they've had nothing, and now they've got guys that are decent. And so you're all excited. Oh, look at this guy. He can really draft. No, he can't. Guy's not a real good drafter. Real D, how confident you are this year football season you think going to have? Well, of course. You saw what I've done. I gave you every pick on here last year. I think it'll be better than last year because I've got the formula, what I'm looking for, the defenses, the quarterbacks, the coaches. I'm telling you, the top 5 teams, and as we're going through this, I'm seeing that. So yeah, I'm extremely confident. Real D, I've been handicapping since probably 1990. I've been betting since 1969. And the best way to look at it, if I was losing, I wouldn't keep betting, right? If you lose at poker, you're not going to keep playing it. But if you win at poker, you will. So if I kept losing betting football, I wouldn't do it, right? I'd run out of money, but I'm very good at it. And you can go to my history and see what I did last year. So that's the point is absolutely this should be a dynamite year. not a problem. I mean, I got it all pretty much figured out now. So pros, yeah, it's, you know, it's getting, Green Bay over, Philly, we'll see, Detroit over. The Bears don't get fooled. Do not get fooled by Caleb. He's not good. Don't think he is. Okay, so again, Real D, all I can say is I wouldn't do it and post my results. And I tell you all the games, like baseball, I told you all the games today. So it's not like I'm lying. I'm giving you the game and you can see the results and go, yeah, he told me. So, I'm telling you the winners and losers because I'm being honest with you and telling you what's going on. I'm not there. So you get all the baseball picks. You see how well I'm doing in that. But football, you go to teaserking.com, you see the history, pro, college, the locks, and you can see it's all right there. I had KC in the Super Bowl, KC over Baltimore, KC over Buffalo. So it wasn't luck and it wasn't smoke and mirrors. I definitely know what I'm doing. DK Detroit is okay. I don't like them. Maybe they will win like 9 games. I don't know how many games they'll win based on injuries, but I think they need to get Hooker in there. I would like Detroit more with Hooker than Goff. We know Goff's a choke. We've already seen it. The Rams, he's so shitty. The Rams gave him up for Stafford. The Rams knew he sucked. All of a sudden, he's good on Detroit. Bullshit. I think Green Bay takes the division. Yeah, Real D, TK is the best, not a fake like others. Thank you, Greg and John. Yeah, I mean, Hooker should be Detroit's quarterback. He's a choke. Remember the Dallas game? He throws an interception with less than 2 minutes left. As soon as you pressure Goff, he throws interceptions and he's out of sort. He's good when you can just stand there. But he played a bunch of shit teams last year. However, the Packers and the Bears did beat him, as well as Seattle, and then Baltimore killed him, and then he lost to the Niners. So against the better defenses, he didn't show up. I mean, so everybody, they lose to Baltimore 34-0, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's just one of those games. No, he played a good team, and he got killed. It's like the Tigers yesterday. They scored all these runs. But if you notice, the pitcher had a 12 ERA. So you're getting all excited, but wait, no, the pitcher with the 12 ERA. So if they didn't do all that runs, I would have been surprised because they played a shit pitcher. And that's the point. So the Lions look good against Carolina and Atlanta and New Orleans and, some of the shit teams they played, Denver, Oakland. So they look good against them. They get a fluke against Kansas City because Kelsey's out. The lineman's out his first week. And they should have lost. There's a bad holding penalty. But Kansas City week 1 was nowhere near what they were in the Super Bowl, right? If they had played them in the Super Bowl, they'd have gotten killed. Right? It would have been 40-0. So against the good teams, they don't show up, which is what Jared Goff's MO is. Hooker against Alabama put up 50 points. That's why I'm pushing. They played Alabama, and he was outstanding. Great reads, great passes, 50-49. Okay? That's why I like Hooker. And everybody forgets that or has a short memory or I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Oh, we have Goff. Yeah, Goff in his championship game for the Pac-10 when he was at Cal threw 5 picks against Utah, and they got killed. In the Super Bowl, doesn't show up. Even in these playoff games, he only showed up in the first half. Where was he in the second half against the Rams, against Tampa? And then we saw him against Frisco. They're up. They got 24 points, and with a minute left, they still got 24 points. So he doesn't show up. He doesn't get the win. They go for it on 4th down. I mean, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's the same thing at Washington, Oregon. It cost Oregon the fucking playoff game because the guy goes for 4th down at the 3-yard line just before half, and at the 50 with a minute left, where all I got to do is punt the ball and they win. He goes for it, doesn't make it, and Washington 2 plays later scores a touchdown and wins. How fucking stupid is the Oregon coach? So these are the problems when the coaches don't understand the situation and who they're playing. So anyway, that's what we've got. Real D. I can't wait for the season, TK. You're truly amazing handicapper. You really work hard and really, you're really best in the game. Thank you, Real D. Appreciate your transparency you be having with the class. Learned so much from you. Thank you, Real D. That means a lot to me because I like to make sure it's working. I don't know why I don't have a larger audience, but I don't think because I don't do commercials or these ads, I don't get in the algorithm, and then therefore I get, football, I'll get 100, but I'm looking at some of these guys that get like 10,000. I'm like, I'm 100 times better than them. So it's growing, but I can't figure that out. But thank you, Real D. Appreciate it. Tell 2 friends who bet football, but the key is all variable. So what I do is I figure out the keys, and then I tell you, and it's all the variables. It's the quarterback, it's the coach, it's the defense. That's how you bet. You can't bet blindly. Well, I like Colorado's colors, or Deion's the coach, so I'm going to bet Colorado because Deion ain't playing. He's the coach, and he's not a very good coach. He's really, it's like Little League. He's coaching so his son can be the quarterback, and then he'll try to get a pro job so he can draft his son so his son can play quarterback in the NFL. It's hilarious. He's nowhere near Cam Rising, the son, or Burrow or Mahomes. Come on. But that's really what you so I'm trying to teach you. And when I teach you gold and economics, it's the same thing. What are the variables? Well, you print money. The more you print, the less it's worth. But you can't print gold, so you buy gold. It's the same. It all works the same, and one feeds off the other. And that's why I do it. Like that. All right, Rolex. We can watch. Let's watch some things on Rolex. The Rolex prices seems interesting. One thing I won't play is where is Hitler's lost gold, which means that war. That's what I tried to show you yesterday, and it got blocked because of they have I don't know, what do you call it? I don't have permission to show their video. Why the fuck would they care? So instead of advertising for this site, fuck them, I won't. But it's not the site because this is 1 day old and Mark McGuire is 10 years younger. So I don't know who really this is, but this site is I told them to fuck off on their comments. Anyway, so I showed you Mark McGuire. Silvers should go to 50 by the 3rd quarter, which we're in, which will be nice because I know you buy a lot of silver because it's cheap. I got like 600 ounces. I wish I had 600 ounces of gold. So I had 600 ounces of silver. So if it moves, every $10 is $600. So if it moves 100, I make $6,000. Gold, if I have 60 ounces and it moves 100, I make 6,000. So we want it to move, and we have no risk, and it's going to move. Real D, why are Rolex watches so expensive? What's the catch with them? It's the same as why is Mercedes, why is Ferrari? A lot of it is no substitute. Well, Omega, I guess, is their competition, and they put gold and diamonds in them, so they're more than a watch. They're a collectible, and it's a status thing. Are you wearing a Rolex? You're wearing a Rolex. People go, "Ooh, he's wearing a Rolex." So it's versus a Timex, right? It's the gold standard of watches. It's promotion. It's good promo, good marketing. That but it's the gold and the diamonds in there that also make them expensive. So let's look at this video and we can see what they are, and then maybe that'll help you real deep. So here's Rolex.
As the new year dawns, Rolex enthusiasts hold their breath in anticipation of a price increase across all models. This allows Rolex to keep pace with rising material and production costs. Rolex thus ensures that each timepiece maintains its legendary status. Let's take a look at the new Rolex price list for 2024, where we'll explore the latest adjustments and what they mean for both prospective buyers and seasoned collectors. Number 1, Rolex Oyster Perpetual, reference number 124300. The Oyster Perpetual 41 comes with a striking bright black dial and classic oyster bracelet. This timepiece combines timeless elegance with modern sophistication. The sunray finish of the dial creates subtle light reflections, adding to its allure. Crafted from Rolex's resilient oyster steel, the 41mm case ensures durability and maintains its beauty even in challenging environments. The oyster bracelet, renowned for its robustness and comfort, completes the ensemble. Powered by the self-winding perpetual movement, it offers precision timekeeping with a power reserve of approximately 70 hours. With a price tag of $6,400, the Oyster Perpetual 41 is a standout choice for those seeking quality and refinement in their timepiece collection.
So you can see it's a status thing. It's the quality that they make it. Now, what did he say? They didn't say inflation, but their costs went up. So they're moving their price up to offset the cost, and then it's up to the market if they'll accept it. But notice it didn't go up that much. Went up a couple $100. Now I'm going to go a little bit further in because they go by price. So let's go this one.
Hello, this is Deck Design with the Now. Today we'll talk about the proper size deck that will fit your home.
With a bidirectional self-winding mechanism via the perpetual rotor, the Submariner boasts a power reserve of approximately 70 hours. Overall, the Submariner represents Rolex's unwavering commitment to durability, precision, and functionality, and is available for $10,800. Number 6, Rolex Explorer 6, reference number 124273. Presenting the Oyster Perpetual Explorer 36, a fusion of oyster steel and yellow gold featuring a distinguished black dial illuminated by a chroma light display for optimal legibility in any situation. This attention to detail and precision craftsmanship ensures readability and identity, hallmark traits of Rolex timepieces. The smooth bezel in yellow gold adds a touch of elegance to the Explorer's iconic design, complementing its robust yet refined aesthetics. Completing the ensemble is the iconic oyster bracelet, a perfect fusion of form and function. Equipped with an oyster lock folding clasp and the exclusive EasyLink Comfort Extension Link. With its blend of elegance, functionality, and enduring quality, the $11,750 Oyster Perpetual Explorer 36 beckons adventurers to embrace the call and embark on new horizons with confidence and style. Number 7, Rolex Submariner, reference number 126713 GRNR.
I'm always a blue guy.
The Oyster Perpetual Submariner date is a true symbol of deep confidence and impeccable craftsmanship. The Cerachrome bezel inserts in blue ceramic, paired with the royal blue dial adorned with large luminescent hour markers, create a stunning aesthetic that commands attention both above and below the surface. Designed as an essential underwater tool, the Submariner features a unidirectional rotatable bezel with 60-minute graduations, allowing divers to accurately monitor diving time and decompression stops. Combining the luster of gold with the strength of steel, the Submariner showcases Rolex's signature Rolser, a meeting of two metals that harmoniously blend their best properties. Priced at $15,600, the Oyster Perpetual Submariner date is the ultimate companion for adventurers and watch enthusiasts alike. Number 8, Rolex GMT Master 2, reference number 126710 BLOR. The Rolex GMT Master 2 stands out as a compelling choice for investors, boasting a combination of historical significance, limited availability, and timeless design. Originally tailored for professional pilots and explorers, the GMT Master 2's practical dual-time functionality has broadened its appeal to a wider audience. With the ability to adjust the local time independently of the minute and second hands, adapting to new time zones is effortless. The black dial ensures exceptional legibility in all conditions, thanks to Rolex's ChromaLight display. Luminescent hour markers and hands provide a long-lasting glow, ensuring readability even in low-light environments. With its blend of luxury, functionality, and impeccable craftsmanship, the Rolex GMT Master 2 earned the price tag of $16,450. Number 9. Rolex Sky Dweller, reference number 336933. Despite the absence of updates in 2024, the Rolex Sky Dweller continues to captivate enthusiasts with its sophisticated design and versatile functionality, making it a timeless investment for discerning watch connoisseurs. The Oyster Perpetual Sky Dweller is a remarkable timepiece crafted from oyster steel and yellow gold, featuring a bright black dial and an oyster bracelet designed to accompany Globetrotters with precision and sophistication. It comes with a price tag of $19,250.
So you can see they're affordable, kind of. They're really, inflation isn't a problem, because if you're going to buy a Rolex, it's 20 grand. Doesn't matter if it went from 19,000 to 20, you're still going to buy it, because it's like buying a Mercedes or buying a Ferrari or buying a Rolex. It's the gold standard of that. There is no substitute. And people who want to buy that are buying it because it's a Rolex and they got money and they don't care. The inflation isn't causing the problem, but they're still reasonably priced. And you can see they all have the steel and the gold in them. I think we'll get to some later. It's a few more to go through that have diamonds on them also. But you can see it's a $20,000 Rolex. That ain't never going down in value. It'll go to zero as the dollar goes out. These will all go to zero in dollars, because the dollars won't have any value. And then here comes gold. And then how much gold will we need to buy this? I'd say maybe a half ounce, maybe 3/4 of an ounce should buy it, because you got to keep in mind. Now, how do you sell these for 19, 20,000, yet gold's 2,400? I mean, it makes 0 sense, right? So we can see it's all bullshit, the gold price. If these are going for 20,000, gold should be 100,000. And again, these are free market. Like COMEX isn't doing derivatives to lower the price, although I wish they would. That would be good if COMEX would say, yeah, it's down, it's $100. Everybody would buy one. But it's a status thing. It's gold. So it's probably 18 karat gold, I would guess, in the steel. But I'm sure the resale of those are huge. If we went on eBay, maybe we can do that another day and look at Rolex. I'm sure they're 20,000. They're probably still 20,000, because it's not like you wear them out. Even if it's 10 years old, it's a Rolex. And if it's a real Rolex, it's a real Rolex. But that's what you're seeing, 15 to 20,000. These are, I love the blue one. And then this is nice. And then let's see what the other few are. A few more to go through. But you can see it's very classic. There's not a lot made. It's not going to go down in value. And it's very classy to wear. And you can say, I got a Rolex. I would be careful in this day and age with all the riots about to happen. You don't want to be caught out with a Rolex. It might give the wrong impression. Hey, he's got a $20,000 I can eat, right? So how do you go to okay, Bobby, how do you go to the grocery store with a Rolex? Right? The same as gold. That's the whole point of it. How do you go to but it's an asset that's worth 20 grand, and it's still going to be worth 20 grand. But it's worth 20 grand in inflated dollars. It's really a steal. This is probably like only 10,000 in real dollars, because with all the inflation, it's now 20, but we know that's not that's a fantasy, because it's monopoly money. So it's probably a good buy at 20 grand if you can do it. But right now I'd rather wait for the gold to go up and then buy a nice Rolex with a half ounce of gold. So there's advantages to gold. All right.
Bright black dial of the Sky Dweller showcases innovative features that simplify life for travelers. A fixed, inverted red triangle points to the chosen reference time on the 24-hour disc, distinguishing daytime hours from nighttime hours in a
Beautiful,
different
wow.
time zone. Number 10, Rolex Yachtmaster 2, reference number 116680. The broader market trend towards sports luxury watches has only heightened the demand for the Rolex Yachtmaster, positioning it as a coveted choice among enthusiasts and collectors alike. It's a timepiece that blends sporty elegance with cutting-edge technology, now featuring the innovative Oyster Flex bracelet developed and patented by Rolex. For a bag of $30,500,
Jesus.
the Yachtmaster bi-directional rotatable 60-minute graduated bezel, made from precious metals or high-tech ceramic with polished numerals and graduations, adds both functionality and visual appeal to the timepiece. Despite its more understated appearance, the steel Yachtmaster...
Hey, New Wine.
The steel Yachtmaster 2 maintains all the innovative features and precision of its counterparts, making it a practical and stylish choice for individuals with an active lifestyle. Number 11, Rolex 1908, reference number 126515LN. The Rolex's newly introduced Perpetual 1908 is now available in 950 Platinum, elevating the timepiece to new heights of prestige and refinement. Exclusively crafted in this prestigious metal, 1908 features an ice blue dial adorned with a captivating rice grain motif, a hue reserved solely for our watches in platinum. The dial's intricate rice grain motif, achieved through guilloche, or engine turning, pays homage to traditional watchmaking while infusing the timepiece with a distinct personality. The rosette-like design, centered on the small seconds counter at 6 o'clock, adds a touch of elegance and sophistication, making the 1908 a visual masterpiece that captures attention with every glance. The Perpetual 1908 is available for $30,900. Number 12, Rolex Cosmograph Daytona, reference number 126515LN. Undoubtedly, the Rolex Daytona stands out as one of the finest choices for both purchasing and investing in Rolex timepieces, earning its place as the epitome of desirability. The Cosmograph Daytona 126515LN is a symbol of triumph and endurance. It features a 40mm oyster case crafted from 18-karat ever rose gold, a sundust and bright black dial, and an innovative Oyster Flex bracelet adorned with a black Cerachrome bezel with a tachometric scale. The Oyster Flex bracelet, a hallmark of resilience and durability, seamlessly combines the robustness of a metal bracelet with the comfort of an elastomer bracelet. Crafted from Rolex's exclusive 18-karat ever rose gold, this timepiece exudes elegance and sophistication. Priced at $32,100, the timepiece is adorned with chronograph counters, enhancing its aesthetic appeal. Number 13, Rolex GMT Master 2, reference number 126715CHNR. Despite these fluctuations, the enduring appeal and enduring demand for the Rolex GMT Master 2 underscore its status as a premier investment option. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual GMT Master 2 features a captivating black dial and an oyster bracelet. This timepiece exudes luxury and sophistication. The black dial ensures exceptional legibility in all conditions, enhanced by Rolex's Chromalight display, which emits a long-lasting glow. The broad hands and luminescent hour markers ensure easy readability, even in low-light environments. With its blend of cutting-edge technology, exquisite craftsmanship, and timeless elegance, the Rolex GMT Master 2 is priced at $40,600. And finally, number 14, Rolex
I
Deep
love the
Sea,
blue.
reference number 136668LB. The Oyster Perpetual Rolex Deep Sea is a legendary diver's watch that combines unparalleled craftsmanship
Nice
with
colors,
innovative
the gold with the
technology
blue.
to meet the demands of the most challenging underwater environments. Crafted from 18-karat yellow gold, this Deep Sea model features a striking Cerachrome bezel insert in blue ceramic, complemented by an oyster bracelet that exudes both strength and elegance. The oyster bracelet, a pinnacle of form and function, features an oyster lock clasp for secure closure and an ingenious glide lock system for effortless adjustment, allowing for a comfortable fit over a diving suit. Priced at $52,100, Oyster Perpetual Rolex Deep Sea in 18-karat yellow gold sets a new standard for luxury
I want
dive
that
watches, embodying Rolex's dedication to excellence and innovation. This increase in prices is due to the high-quality materials that go into making these masterpieces, the cost of advanced manufacturing techniques, and an uncompromising attention to detail in every aspect of production. Naturally, each watch is a testament to the brand's unwavering pursuit of perfection.
And I want to give you a...
So what do we learn from that? It's high quality. There's huge demand, or you can't sell it for 52,000. I mean, all of them 20, 30, 40, 50. You can only do that if there's huge demand. And that last one, you almost want to buy it now, because when gold goes to the moon, so let's say gold's at 2,400 now. Let's say gold goes to 20,000. It's 18 karat gold, the brand, right? So how many, what is it, an ounce of gold? So right now at 2,300, but imagine when it goes to 20,000, that's got to go up by 20,000. So now you're investing in gold and the Rolex. It's a double hit, and it's beautiful. The gold and the blue, UCLA colors. But what is it? It's an image. It's the gold standard of watches. It's a collectible. It's an investment. It's beautiful. So it's like a piece of art. So it hits all these different angles. That's why they can sell it for so much. The demand is there because they're beautiful fucking watches. And you want to go out and you're out and go, hey, I got a Rolex. And they, oh my God. And it'll protect you. It is a real asset. I would much rather have that last Rolex than a house, because it's got gold. It's going to go up. The house is going to go down in value. The house, the Rolex is not. I bet Putin has a few of the Rolexes, right? But those are real assets. You'll make money in them, especially the gold ones, because we know gold's going through the roof. Why fuck around with stocks when you can have that? I mean, you got to be kidding me. If you have enough money, right? Or you can buy the cheaper ones at 15,000 that have some gold in it. But that's the point of it. They will hold their value. There's huge demand, or they couldn't sell it. Great quality. And the brand Rolex. See, that's what it's the brand. You're trying to get the brand, right? Rolex is the brand. So anybody says Rolex, they know what you mean. Quality. I'm more gold standard guy, right? I'm the gold standard of handicappers versus the Rolex guy of handicappers, but it's the idea. No substitute. Maybe you can get an Omega, but I'd rather have Rolex. It's a known brand, and just the way they make it, it's beautiful, and I'm sure they don't make a lot of them, so it's very limited, would be my guess. And I can go to the jewelers. There's a jeweler's a mile away and ask them for the supply numbers of these watches. But I would bet they don't make 100 of them. So it's like a 50 count Mahomes card. You know, it's 100 count Rolex. Yeah. So that's why I suggest that's a real asset, like the cards. They're not money, although there is gold in the Rolexes. It's the idea that it's a Rolex. It's basically, it gets down to economics. Is there demand for it? Yes. Is there a lot of demand for it? Yes. If they can sell it for 52,000. So you use your logic there. If there's no demand, they can't sell it for 52,000. Now you own it. Are you worried that it's like a Mantle card? Are you worried about selling it and getting your price? Absolutely not. Right. So you're not worried about a Rolex that I can't, even if you bought it and put it away, and the last one is 50 grand and you got, it's in gold, and, gold goes up, and 2 years from now, believe me, you're getting 100 grand for it. So again, limited and highly demanded, beautiful, everything. You don't need it graded like a card. I don't need a PSA 10 Rolex. So that's why real assets are the way to go. I stumbled onto that. I really liked it. And I'm going to share it with my my buddy.
He stole my family. I will bring it down. Oh,
As the new year dawns, Rolex.
Jesus. Anyway, so that's really what you're looking for, are real assets like that. So what is a real asset? It has a value. New wine, if you have questions, comments, please feel free. That's what this is for. Let me give you the baseball games. Some of them have already gone. 3-unit games today. So let's just revisit this. KC, 3 units. Philly, 3 units. Detroit over 9.5, 3 units. Cincinnati, 3 units. The Mets over 8.5, 3 units. Pitt under 9, 3 units. Washington under 9, 5 units. The lock of the day, 10 unit. Houston under 8. Scherzer against Biondo, the no-hitter guy. Frisco over 7.5, 5 units. California under 8.5, 3. Atlanta, Chris Sale, 5 units. And Arizona over 8, 3 units. That's your game today. I did talk about the Big 12. I'm not going to repeat that. You'll have to watch it. Anyway, so you can see the different assets. The Mano card, why? High demand. Everybody loves Mano. Rolex, why? High demand, very classy, limited. I would be. They should back the dollar with Rolexes. They'd be fine. How would they steal that from us? But that's what you're looking at is those things. Those are all assets. You can't print them. That's why they won't go down in value. There's not like they made 100,000 Rolexes, then they wouldn't have the value. So I'm sure they're very limited. I'll try to get that figure. Maybe I'll Google it. And that's what you're looking for. So you're always looking for the Rolex, the gold standard in quarterback, Mahomes, Burrow in college, Cam Rising. That's what you're looking for, the gold teams. That's who you want to bet on. And conversely, the ones that suck, you're betting against. So that's why you're buying a Rolex. It's a name. It's good quality. They use gold. They use this oyster, whatever. And it's just beautiful. I mean, that last blue one in gold, I was absolutely stunning. I'd be scared to wear it. Where am I going to wear it? But that's why it is. So a house is nice, but you would make more money on the Rolex. That last Rolex for 50 grand, you would make more money on that than your house, because the house is coming down in value because of the interest rates. There's no interest, the Rolex is the Rolex. So keep that in mind. I think there was a few other videos that I wanted to show. So we're looking at this. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get blocked again. But Hitler had a train that had gold on it, and a lot of gold, and he put it in a mine. The war was about him stealing gold from all these countries: Poland, Czechoslovakia, Brussels, France, wherever he went. He was trying to get Russia's gold. That's what he's trying to do, is steal the gold. That's what the war is about. This war with Ukraine and Russia is about us trying to get the oil and minerals from those cities, Crimea and Donetsk and Kharkov and Odessa. That's where it is. That's why they're invading there. That's why Russia's trying to keep their oil and minerals. Notice they're not taking Kiev because there's no oil there, and they're not taking where Jenna lives. There's no oil there. They don't care about that. It's all about the oil, and that, as every war is always about gold and oil. And here Hitler was broke to get So he has this army. So he goes to war to steal all the gold. That's what he did. So anyway, I was watching this one, Chinese brokers launder money. So it's the HSBC bank, and they just all the cartels from Mexico who are selling the fentanyl into the U.S. have this money. Now, what is laundering money? Laundering money is when you make money that isn't taxed. So if you sell drugs, you don't report it. There's no 1099 or W2 or, here's $1 million and you sell cocaine. Well, it's not reported. And then you live in a nice house and they're going, how do you live in this house? You don't make any money. So you're not reporting and paying tax. That's how you're laundering the money. So what you're laundering is you're showing, I sold a bunch of paint, or I sold something that will give you, I sold $1 million of Canadian Club and here's my taxes. So you're trying to tax the money so you can explain how you live in a nice mansion and drive a Ferrari and have a Rolex when you don't make money. So the Chinese launder the money. So they put it through these fake corporations and say, here's how I made the money. I sell real estate, and you just sell drugs. Let's see. This one shows how gold is moved around the world. And this is by airplane. I mean, it was like when Germany got it, they got it on Lufthansa and they flew it in and then they put it in their mint. Okay. Let's see. So here is World War II. So I'm scared to play some of these because it's getting blocked. Millions in gold uncovered inside German tunnels. So in the mountains, this is where Hitler stored all his gold, which again proves that World War II is about him stealing gold. He's nothing more than a common thief. And he killed all the people to shut him up. And a lot of the Jews had gold in their teeth or rings, and they had gold. And they had the money, so that's why he was after the Jews, to get the money and the gold. And that's what this crazy guy did. This guy's a nut. Huge news, the shocking truth about gold and silver, and he's trying to tell you to buy Bitcoin. I don't want to just ignore this guy. Currency reset was pretty good. She's basically explaining what we already know. See, a lot of them is I've already explained it. Where basically they just redo it. Like Zimbabwe, they come out with gold-backed currency. Then that's what we'll do here. Well, when the dollar dies, we'll either come out with US dollar 2, which will be worthless if it's not backed by gold, or a gold-backed currency. Since we have no gold, that's it. But that's the problem with our gold. It's all rented out. That was on the video I showed yesterday. So in other words, we have 8,000 tons of it, but we've sold it to China and they made jewelry with it. So we'll never get it back, but we still show it on our books as we have it, even though we don't. It's been rented, but really it's been sold. So we don't have any gold. China's got it. they show it rented like they're going to get it back, but you can't get it back because it's like this, right? Or coins, whatever's been made into it. There is no gold in there, but they're calling it rented out. So it's all bullshit. Stupidest investment ever. Do not watch this guy, Nolan Matthias. Guy's a fucking idiot. He's trying to say how it was stupid to buy gold and silver. He doesn't even understand it's paper gold and silver. See, this is the problem. It's guys like this. When people, oh, gold doesn't move. Well, it's paper gold that's being price fixed by the derivatives. This is why I explain it. So now you understand this is what's going on. And now it's going to a real market, physical market, not the derivatives. Now it's like going to be like eBay. Oh, I have the Mantle card. I'll give you 70 grand for it. So we get away from the derivatives and the paper gold into a physical market where all the gold's physical. And now we understand, oh, wait, it's physical. So therefore, the price should go up. Right? Why is the Rolex $50,000? Well, that's the real physical free market price. We don't have that in gold and silver yet, but we're getting it through BRICS, through COMEX blowing up because they need physical gold to do the derivatives, and they ran out. And now Russia and China has all the gold, and they're going to do their own derivatives, and the price is going to run. And so if you understand that, it's not a stupid investment. If you don't understand that it's paper and derivatives are controlling the price, then it is stupid. It's still not stupid if you buy physical, but this guy never listened. Nolan Matthias, what an idiot. I was trying to watch some of these. My advice is please don't waste your time. They're all, I try to look for some variety of other guys, and it just shows you how stupid they are. They don't understand it. And then I get frustrated because I go, well, it's paper gold. Of course it doesn't make any sense to you because you don't dig in. So it's like I said in the interview, I said to the guy, any questions for me after the interview? And I says, yeah, do you understand why gold's $2,200 an ounce? And the guy says, no. So I started explaining it to him, and I'm ready to walk out because he doesn't even understand it. But he doesn't ask why. He doesn't dig in. In other words, the company's making money. Do you understand why it's making money? Or it's losing money. Do you understand why it's losing? That's what you need to do, is get into why is it making money or losing money. Why is gold $2,200 an ounce, or now it's 24? Oh, it's price fixed. Oh, I didn't know that. And you're looking at the paper gold price, not the physical price. Oh, I didn't know there was two different. Yeah, that's the point. You've got to dig in. That's what I do with football. That's why I'm good at it. And that's what I do with gold. That's why I'm good at it, is I'm good at digging. It's like the whole Trump thing. He got shot in the ear, really? And you think that was an accident, or do you think that was intentional? And I'm saying it was intentional. He got shot in the ear. How the fuck do you hit the ear and miss the head? If they wanted him dead, they'd shot him in the head. But they didn't want him dead. So they shot him in the ear, and then watch the replay, and you'll see he doesn't duck immediately. He stands there because he knows that they're aiming for his ear, not the head. So he knew that. So why? Who did it? Believe me, if the Russians wanted him, he'd be dead. If the Chinese, he'd be dead. So we're looking at the CIA or somebody like that who would be in Pennsylvania for that. That's kind of what it is. I don't think the Russians and Chinese want him dead, or he'd be dead, right? If Putin wants you dead, you're dead. So just understand that part. Sort of like Hitler. When he wanted you dead, you were dead. So that's what it is. So some of this is just stupid. Why you shouldn't buy physical gold and silver. So I had to have interest in that. But he wants to go. He's a Bitcoin guy. So he's trying to don't buy gold, buy Bitcoin is what ended up happening. and just a real idiot. I don't want to waste your time with that video, but that's what you really need to be confident that what we're doing is correct. And that's why I tell you, avoid these idiots who really don't know or understand what they're talking about. But if you don't know, you'll trust whatever they say, right? Oh, this guy said don't buy it, I won't buy it. But if you understand what's happening, you'll laugh at. See, I understand. So when I watch it, I laugh at it, going, "This guy's an idiot. It's paper gold. He doesn't. What's he talking about?" And then storage. Well, it's a lot to store. If I have Bitcoin, you don't need to store it. Yeah, but Bitcoin's in dollars, and it really isn't anything, and the value is going to zero. So why do I want Bitcoin? So he's trying to talk you out of gold by saying, well, you got to store it or put it in a bank and pay insurance. It's costly to have. And he's thinking the price won't go up because he doesn't understand paper gold. So anyway, what else? 1:45. All right, another 5 minutes or so, and then off to the pool. Feel good. The head's fine. The vertigo is pretty good. The side where I ate the roast, the fat came out, so that's good. And my feet are fine. Everything's fine. I was walking out yesterday and I said, I can't believe it. I have no pain. It's funny how your mind works. You start having the side pain from the fat getting caught in there digesting. And you start, you're wondering what's going on. And I just want to feel good. And then now I feel good. So it's fine. Anyway, so keep in mind, we know what's happening. There's a huge recession going on. The value of the dollar is basically gone. It's 98, 99% gone. And we know that. So anything in dollars is going to go to zero. Even this nice, pretty Rolexes that are $40,000, $50,000. Notice they're dollars, so they will go to zero. So, Greg and John, when you ask, well, why is this, if the dollar is worthless, how are they worth 50,000? Because it's worthless, but it's still maintained. It hasn't gone out yet. So, like in Zimbabwe, let's take Zimbabwe. We saw they went to a gold-backed currency. The guy had to carry all these dollars for a glass of milk, right? So imagine what the Rolex costs there, because their dollar's worthless. So it's the dollar is what you have to understand. If this is worthless, everything valued in this is worthless. So where everybody thinks, oh, it's going to be a hardship because it'll be broke and all this. Yes, in dollars. But if you have it in gold, where's my gold piece? So we pretend this is gold. But if I have this, the value of this went up, and this replaces the dollar. So this is here, and all you're doing is replacing it with gold and silver. That's why we buy, and we buy physical, because if you buy ETFs or stocks or IRAs, you don't get the physical, and then it's not worth anything because it's priced in dollars. So only this will get priced in gold. So eventually this goes to $20,000, $30,000, and then it goes to zero. The dollar's out. Now this goes even higher because now it's priced in gold, and this is the only medium of exchange is the gold, and that's what BRICS is doing. And BRICS understands gold. That's why they got all this gold, because they know that's the only way to survive, because all the fiat paper money will go to zero. All of it. Always has, always will, because it's not backed, and you'll eventually print it. And then when there's gold, people would much rather have gold. What do you think all these BRICS countries are buying gold for? They know gold's the safety. They know gold's real money. They know the fiat isn't, and it gets printed. So they all understand. That's why, Putin understands it. Saudi Arabia understands. He wants to get paid gold for his oil. So that's what's happening. And you're out gold and silver all the time. So when this idiot says why you shouldn't buy physical gold and silver, you're looking at him like he's out of his fucking mind. What do you mean I shouldn't? Why shouldn't I? It's a no-brainer. what should I'm going to buy Bitcoin instead? Or, oh, wait, I'll have to pay storage and insurance costs. Yeah, but it's I can't hold dollars. So what's your reasoning is I can't hold it because it's some cost, meaning, well, but I can't hold dollars. He doesn't understand you can't hold dollars. Even if it's Bitcoin, it's in dollars. It's worthless. So the Rolex, it's things like Rolex and Picasso and mantle cards that people with gold will buy and put a price on. And that's what you're looking at. Even this, the food and stuff, the Canadian Club. Let's say this is $75, so maybe it's an ounce of silver. Although it'll be a quarter ounce of silver. Because you got to remember, an ounce of silver now is 32, but when it goes to $500, $1,000 an ounce, you're not going to be able to buy that with an ounce of silver. It'll be way too much. So all the prices will be adjusted for gold and silver. That's why as much as you can buy, you buy. You get out of the dollar because it's basically worthless because they've inflated it. It's 99% lost its value, and in my mind, it's 100. But okay, we'll say 99, and that's it. That's where you're at. So to not to protect yourself, but to survive, and you got your family and your friends, you're gonna need to eat, right? So you're not gonna eat with this because this won't have a value. And if they're trying to get you into a CBDC, it still won't have a value if it's not backed by gold. You can't just create digital things, even in Bitcoin, and they'll just value it. Well, we're going to value it. You can't just value it. The market has to value it. So if the government's saying, well, we're going to do CBDCs and they'll be worth whatever, I don't know. Your $100,000 in your account's worth 10 grand. So the CBDC is worth 1/100th of what your dollar's worth. See, that's where you're going to get fucked. You got 500,000 in the bank, and they're going to revalue it at 1/100th. So your 500,000 is worth $500, and the cost of everything just went way down. Wait a minute, I had $500,000 again in this. See, what you got to understand is in this, you're fucked. They printed it, as Hitler said, we're going to print the British pounds and flood the market and it'll be worthless. Well, that's what this is. They printed the money. That's probably what George Soros is doing, printing the money, and it's worthless. That's why BRICS is going to gold, because they can't print the gold. So again, it's supply and demand. Very limited Rolexes, they're 50,000 and they're beautiful. And is this limited? No, this is not limited. Is this limited? Yes, it says 50. This is limited. So limited things hold their value. Things that are printed to death don't hold their value. They never have, they never will. That's why you own gold. They can't fuck with your gold. They can't print it. They can't print it to, they can't even print the gold, right? They can't inflate it. They can't come up with anything. And then you just got to be careful. They really didn't confiscate your gold in 1933. They bought it from you. So the price of gold was $21. So they gave you $21 for your ounce of gold. So you turned it in, you got paid. The problem is, what are you going to pay me? And if you do want it, what are you going to pay me? Because the dollar's dead. Your tax returns will get a lot more interesting because how are you going to do one? There won't be dollars. You won't owe anything. Even in digital dollars, well, it's not going to be 1 for 1. So that'll be that. Credit cards will have to see what they're going to do. But again, the Rolex will get valued in gold and silver, not in dollars. They have a value. You're just changing the medium of exchange from dollars to gold and silver. That's all that's going to happen. The problem in America, you have too many people that don't have gold and silver. Although I think there's a lot more people who go to the coin stores and get 5, 10, 20 ounces of gold and a lot of silver. I think that's a lot more common than we think, but there's no way of tracking it. And why ETFs? Nobody wants ETFs because they're not real gold. So I don't know why they're so surprised ETFs is down. Well, why would I want one? It's paper. It's made off. I'm going to get fucked with it. I got to get the physical gold. So that's the other key. Greg and John, Jacoby Jones passed away. How do you get from inflation and gold to Jacoby Jones? I don't know. It sounds a little familiar. My mind's not on Jacoby Jones right now, Greg and John. So anyway, this is the difference. I gotta stop reading your shit, Greg and John. You throw me off. I don't remember where I'm at. Something to do with gold. So keep in mind again, everything will be priced in dollar, or a lot of more people have gold and silver. But that's what's going to happen when the dollar goes out. How do you price things? How do you at the grocery store or cars or gasoline? All the things that are priced in dollars go to zero. Tuna, it will be, it won't have a price. Now, what's happened in Zimbabwe and Venezuela, they're like 1 million pesos for a can of tuna. But again, if you don't use the Venezuela dollar and you use the US dollar or gold, it's fine. You convert it. It's, you want a 1/4 ounce of gold of silver for my food, and you buy the food. So if you have the gold and silver, that's where the value will be at. That's what I'm saying. You're going to buy houses with it and cars with it and Rolexes. You want to buy a Rolex, I'd wait and then buy it with the 1/2 ounce. It won't even be an ounce of gold. It'll be a 1/2 ounce of gold. Will buy you that $50,000 Rolex because that's in inflated dollars. So you're going to get new gold prices for the Rolex. And that will just create a gold-backed currency and a gold-backed economy. Just like what BRICS is doing, right? They're getting out of the ruble and the yuan and all that. India's highly inflated. China's highly inflated. Russia's highly inflated. And I'm sure I'm sure all the dollars like this and like this are basically highly inflated and worthless. That's why BRICS is doing it. That's why everybody wants to join it. And then they'll just use the BRICS gold-backed currency to buy food and pay for stuff. And we'll have it here and we'll be fine. So we either move to a BRICS country and we're fine because we have gold, which can buy it all. And then we can get a job working where we get BRICS currency and then we use it to spend. And it's no different. They're like saying, well, the economy will blow up. There'll be a new economy or there won't be banks. No, this is the best system, is using the banks and everything else. I mean, that's why the idea of the bank, there's always been banks, but they've never had this, we'll just print money out of thin air. Like with the farmers, they would give the farmers, I'm talking about the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act that fucked everything up. The farmers would get loans and grow their corn and wheat and then ship it all over the world, and they'd make money on it. And the banks would loan them the money so they could do it. And then as they started selling, they'd pay the loan back to the bank. That's how it would work. And there's no reason that won't work now. We've been the best country in the world for 250 years now. There's no reason to change. Like, why are we changing? Banks are still banks. They'll still be in charge, not the government. Not the central bank should never be in charge, and the banks and the government should never have a monopoly on printing. So the government's not going to want to give up the monopoly on printing, but they don't understand it's worthless. What they're printing is worthless. So they don't understand that. And that's really the problem. So keep that in mind. That's what's going on. Anyway, good luck on your baseball if you're betting it. So we covered the Big 12 today. We looked at the gold. We looked at the gambling, the different variables, and that's what's it. So again, I'm sorry for yesterday because of the video that I used. I didn't know it was copyright infringement. I mean, it was just on there a day. I've never heard of the site. So because of that, it got blocked, but nothing important. It just got blocked. But that's why I didn't show any videos today. And that's about it. So off to swim. It's 2:00. I'm gonna have some lunch, eat my Chinese, and go to swim. The pool closes at 4:30, and it looks like a nice sunny day. So I'll probably go to the lake, and that's about it. So have a nice day. Glad you enjoyed. Glad you learned. www.teaserking.com, and you can get you can ask me questions, get my email, and then the pics will be posted, a week before the season starts. College will be late August, and then the pros, they could be posted late August also. And we'll see. All right. Okay, so have a good day, everybody. I hope everybody's well and healthy. Buy your gold and silver, because you can't hold the dollar. Maybe we'll talk about let me watch these a little bit more and see about that reset. Anyway, just understand it. The gold cannot be printed. The Rolex is beautiful. It's limited. It's using gold. That's why they're expensive. If they didn't use gold, they wouldn't be able to charge that. But because it's gold, people, it's gold. And again, there's got to be a demand for them to sell it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I did. It was interesting because, I don't think about buying watches now. We have cell phones. And for jewelry, I'd buy jewelry. I wouldn't buy a watch, but it was very nice. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow, probably in the afternoon. All right, www.teaserking.com. Take care.